in terms of accusation, in terms of crimes, most times when you accuse them of something, what they try to do is to say that, oh, we are all bad. And the truth is, for most of the things we say to them, can Brennan please, Brennan, can you just switch off your mic? Thank you. So for most of the things that we say to them, right? All the accusation, when you say Tinubu is a dealer, even the people in the grassroots you don't expect, they hear those things and it sticks to their head. If we don't know, most of those crimes that we attribute to both Atiku, to Tinubu and the rest, they hear it, it sticks to their head, and some of them take their decision by those. When you say somebody has a criminal record, they take their decision by some of those things that you know we say. So it was just as if the court case was a blessing to the camp of the opposition. Like, we finally have one thing. I mean, when you talk about Tinubu, we tell you about your DG. When you talk, if you can't find something on your candidate, we say something about your DG. So if you say Tinubu is convicted, we tell you your DG is convicted. So what are you now saying? So this was a very dicey issue for us. And even our public defense, I knew that if we were not careful, we would say things that will be screenshotted tomorrow. It will keep watering down some of the stand, because I tell you, why they are fighting to get corrupt charges against us, they will also be going down with other information. We're going to dig up, our camp is going to dig up against them, whether we like it or not. People are going to sleep from both sides. So now, it may be we may have lost the battle, but the war, I think that we are now likely, even on a likely side to win. We may have lost the battle in the terms of, oh, they held us on our neck, they pressed our neck, and our DG is gone. However, when you look at it holistically in terms of the battle, right, in fact, this may turn out to be a blessing for us, in the sense that we now have more moral standing to point fingers to every bloody idiot, pardon my French, that is being called a thief on the opposition. I mean, you pointed one of us, and then the person had to go. So the more we get things from your end, we must act. So it is left to us. If you look at the post I made this evening, I said the battle line is drawn. It's left to us to insist, because if they come out and say, oh, they're fighting for a country, we know they are not, but if they say they're fighting for a Nigeria that is ABRC, we tell them, you called us to order, and our own party, you know, withdrew the player that was injured. Now you are standing on, and you see some of these things that we think that the grassroots don't hear. They hear it. They hear it. Somebody tells them this is what has just happened. Some hear it on their local radio. Some of them hear it. Oh, this is what happened. Sometimes you may even hear that, oh, this is what Obi's government is all about. In fact, there is an example that just happened recently, and the person was asked to step down, whether he was asked or he was not asked. The start there can be, the information they may get is that he was asked to step down, and he did, and that is what Obi's government represents. And yes, it decision. It's not about being naive in politics. No, it is about what is before us. We want to get into Aso Rock and change the country. We would be wounded in the process. We'll be mocked in the process. We'll have some of our soldiers go down. We'll have some of our soldiers injured. It doesn't matter. Obi said something that I said throughout this evening, that we must stand by. He said, it will never deter him. He said, whatever you like, do to the people around me, it will never shake me. And that is the stand that we must have in the whole of this issue. What Obi is trying to say is that we are on a race. If my anchor people go down, I keep running. And that is where we are right now. I tell you, is who to replace the DG is not a problem. I mean the whole of no. The point is that the DG has given us a star to move with in this journey. He did something that we know. Because when you say, oh, we are a member of PDP, we tell you we left the old order behind. If we didn't leave the old order behind, we would have behaved like them. And our DG will still be sitting there today. But we have left that order behind, and that is why we refuse to behave like them. So the fact that somebody was in APC, was in PDP, he came to our party, yes, we have the right to absorb the person because we have shown you that the fact where you came from is not the problem. If Moses came from where? He came from Egypt. He never behaved like them, when he left there. That is what matters because right now we have shown that whether you came from PDP, whether you came from APC, wherever you have come from, if you come to Labour, we have the right to absorb you because we know that you will no longer behave like the old order you are coming back from. So where you are coming from to join us. So please, we don't have a problem as we think that we have. The replacement is not an issue. We are not saying that the DJ is out of the team. No, what we're saying is you are injured. Please come to the back. Let another soldier be in front, and then we move. Next time when we have issues like this, let's not be in a hurry to go writing things on the internet, whether spaces, whether write up people, especially for those of us who people read our posts, who are in the forefront of all of this, whether in the defense or against. Sometimes hold your peace. I remember when this whole thing started, and I was somewhere where the spokesperson asked, he said, what do we do? And they said, just hold your peace. Don't say anything until PO says something. And that was just everybody's instruction on this particular issue. And that was what I was sending message to people. Don't say anything yet because you may say something and it will worsen the problem that we're already in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sina. Temitope, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on,
Yeah,
bro.
go on, bro. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Um, to the topic is actually a mixed feeling for me, and I'm very, very angry. Like, I don't understand most of the people in this obedient movement at times is like what they actually want in this race is like everybody should be like PO. Like, I don't understand. Everybody has their past. So now coming, and you can't say people that has their past they should erase it the moment they join obedient movement. I don't understand. It can never be so. Most of the people that we are even looking up to in this obedient movement, since this thing happened, they started saying a lot of things, writing rubbish on their timelines. I don't understand. Like, the opposition that we are even against, most of them have like they are even worse compared to these people we have in obedient movement, and we'll be the first person to start casting stone. I don't understand. What do we really even want? Like, this man has been with, okay, fine, court have given the order, he has been convicted, all those, okay, fine, but at least cut this man some slack. He has been with this, with PO since day one. Since day one, he has been with him. No, nothing, like no empathy, nothing. They are just coming, attacking the man, go to their time, like go and see sort of rubbish. They are even, most of them did not even read the proceedings of the court. They are just saying, okay, he's a criminal, is this, is that. I don't understand. Is it that most of these people in this movement, most of them are most, or they are working for other parties? Even if the man is going to resign, let it do it at his own convenience, not people pushing him around, like pushing Peter to do this, to do that. Even if some of us are not even contributing to the best of our ability to this, but we shouldn't. The house that you said you are building, must you not bring it down because of one thing that has happened? Please, everybody in this movement should just check themselves very well. We cannot all be like Peter. Like, people are God. See, let me just hang it and thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Temitope, I understand. Honestly, you're not the only one feeling this way. Everybody, not I won't say everybody because we all feel differently, but I think majority of us have the same feeling because I all feel like most times we think we are running a crusade or a church or something. We're trying to take back our country. It doesn't mean that we're gonna think alike, we're gonna behave alike. We have different we're going to react alike. But I think the major stuff that we've been lacking so far, I keep saying it every time, is we lack a lot of people with emotional intelligence. People don't have that. Don't understand when to react, don't understand when to speak, don't understand when to be quiet, don't understand when to, just as in, many of us just like, I'm a ball. I'm a ball. We just let me say, so I don't know whether something is for retweets or it's for likes. I just don't understand most time. I'm like, can't you just sit down and think? I tell people, I've been saying all this, I say, for every tweet you make, that tweet you made right now, does it add one vote to Peter? Does it add one vote to this movement? Doing is on the ticket. Doing is on the ballot. Why are you now coming? I had the back and forth with so many of our. I chastise people more in the DMs because I'm not. I'm wise enough to say most of my views, how I feel towards an event. I won't come out on Twitter here and say it. I will come to your DM and I'll tell you how I feel. It's part of why it is part of you understanding that there are some things that you shouldn't come out to tell and say. Some things should stay inside. Some things should never come out of your tweet or your. That's why there's a DM and then there's a TL. Understand this stuff. If you're not comfortable with some things, just hold back. In fact, shut down your phone and come back in 5 hours and you see there's a new thing trending. That's why I say I'm so happy that right now I cannot trace this back and say Peter called for Doyin to resign. Doyin himself took that decision, and this is an effect to show that the kind of government and the kind of Nigeria we want to bet. For 7 good years, Buhari has been in government with APC. It has been failures upon failures upon failures. Not one minister has resigned. Not one, as in, we have seen prison breaks back to back. Not one control of prison resigned. Nobody resigns in a government that does not work. But you see this amount of resignation going on right now that Doyin can come out. It is a pointer that if you come into, we start this new Nigeria we're getting into. If you freaking get into office and you don't pay, Peter said it in his last interview when he with Arise, he said when they asked him about the service chief, they say, so you mean the service are not performing? He said they will go. If you're not performing, you leave. Governance is not your father's home. It doesn't belong to you. You perform and stay, or you don't perform and you leave for other people to come out and work. And I'm so happy that Doyin understands the kind of Nigeria we're betting, and he has taken the high road to do what is right for the people. But my problem is all those people that just read the headlines. You read headlines and you now started calling that man a criminal, call that man a thief, call that man a this and that. Honestly, we should do better as a people. All right, good. Let's get the conversation going, guys. For me, Akin, are you there?
I'm here, Saddam.
Okay. You want to say something?
Yeah, so I think hearing you speak, you said something that struck a chord, and with an evil demonic party like APC and its abysmal record over the last 7 years, not a goddamn soul has ever walked off the job or said I'm too incompetent or I cannot bear the burden of the emotional guilt as a result of my incompetency on the job or perhaps my lack of direction. Let me step aside. Nobody's resigned. Nobody refuses to show up to work. They all act as though they've been the most effective group of individuals since the third mainland bridge was built. Not like even that regime was, one to write home about, but it just speaks volumes that we have a country where integrity is missing, accountability is null and void, waste, fraud, and abuse is the order of the day, nepotism, corruption, insincerity, political deceit is the only way we speak, and they've come to make that business as usual. And we have to push back and say, you know what, perhaps it's time this generation rewrites its rules. I spent hours today in various obedient WhatsApp groups, again, just simply assessing the outcome of the conviction, the fines, from what we saw with the court today. Um, he's paid his dues. Obviously, Collie paying his debt to society. He would have seen cast the first one, but then we're simply saying, as a movement and as many are stressing, perhaps that cloak we're wearing, where we're saying we want a departure from politics of old, governance that's backward, political establishments that feel like they're untouchable, to be a thing of the past. Maybe, perhaps, this is one more event in history that's testing us as a movement. Am I very impressed with him being pushed off? Not like he was pushed off. So let me retrace my steps. Him trying to resign, I would say not, because he's experienced. He brings a lot of direction to the campaign. But then, as someone said, softly, he's a soldier. He fought a great fight. It's time for a different general to take on the ranks and move on the campaign in a new direction that is without any type of interference or distraction. So I think it's win-win if you look at it, because now we can stand tall. We can beat that war drum and say APC, PDP, whoever you are, present your candidates, present people in your portfolios, and let's see if they can stand the test of integrity that we seek as a new generation. So it's not the time for us to bicker or fight each other on whether it was good or bad. Again, it was a self-made decision. We turn that chapter. We hope we get a stronger DG that can fill in his big shoes as quickly as possible. But if there's any of them thing we keep doing, we keep pressing their necks. And today we've only just been given a bigger stick to go into town and whack these people on the head and wipe them with cords in the neck. Because guess what? If we would see one of our own decide to again fall on his own knife, figure of speech, we're saying just to keep the movement stronger, then perhaps we now have that moral standing, that position to demand even more. It's not like these people care about our opinions or our perspectives, but at least we can look at ourselves where it was difficult. We shouldn't make these spaces about. That's why I quickly went in and I've changed the conversation. We're not going to lose focus on PVC collection, because we can have all the great guys in the party, PCC. We can have all of the amazing influencers and the best spaces. If we don't have our people armed and equipped with PVCs ready to vote on election day, then it's just another jamboree. So please, if you've not got your PVC, make it a Christmas gift. Wrap it in a box. Put a bow on it. Christmas Day, unwrap your gift and say, I got my PVC. That is the best Christmas gift you can give yourself. You can give to your fellow Nigerian, and you can give to an unborn Nigerian. I am pleading. Let that be the Christmas gift we all look forward to. Don't plan to hog the mic too long. Julian, go ahead. Mic is yours.
Akim, before Julian goes on, let me just even say this one more time, because it's important we shape this narrative and let people understand what just happened. Nigerians, the choices before us is very, very, very clear. It's like night and day, or just in the course of this campaign alone, your voices have been heard, directly or indirectly. I know how people cried and shouted about General Eneche, and if you remember, because of his role that he played as a spokesperson for the army in the Lekki massacre, and he was dropped from the PCC. Here's another one. Even if it was a voluntary action by Doyin himself, definitely he must have sensed the room and sensed the agitation from a whole lot of you. So if you want a regime, if you want a government that is coming in that will listen to your plight, that listens to you and reacts immediately, and have people that work under them read the room and react also, not even waiting for that principal to make decisions for them, then you know where to. Or if you want a government that does not even freaking care about you to the point that they're not ready to grant interviews, they're not ready to even come on TV to talk to you. They organize their own town hall and lie to themselves here. They're not ready to come for any debate. The choice is yours. Julian, you have the space. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Hi everyone. What's happening today at the Labour Party movement and everything. I'm happy and not happy at the same time. Why I'm happy is because of the fact that Doyin Okupe did this, more or less from the depth of his heart, and he said, "Hey, we don't want this party to be stained in any form, or shape." And he took the decision that he felt was best for him and best for the movement too as well. But one of the things that I'm sad about is it's coming at a time where we are seeing a lot of people trying as much as possible to slow down the movement and for it to have some sort of like, but you see, these things are not going to work because it's bigger than it's bigger than the PCC. It's bigger than the people who are organizing it. It's a Nigerian election. And let's not get this twisted, right? Let's deep down in our minds know that this is a Nigerian election. Nobody is going to be left unchecked from PO down. No one is spared. So let's not be too sentimental about these things. Let's focus on the real issues, as what Akin said. There's some things we still need to do. Things like the PVC collections, raising of funds for the campaign, for the movement, for the mobilizations, etc. And one of the few things I would also like to know is, it's a good step that Doyin resigned and everything, but I want to find out if we're actually drawing the line on, if it's a good thing to actually draw the line on corrupt politicians in court. If we're going to say, hey, this party is going to be 100% clean, because that's one of the things that we need to understand as a movement or as a party, that hey, are we going to go about this route to say nobody's welcome from the APC or the PDP if you have a bad track record, or if you have stuff following you behind? So those are the few things that we need to point out quick as a movement to say, hey, it's not just about movement. What is our ideology? Because in a country of Nigeria, where we are, you can actually say that more or less 70% of Nigerians are, should I say, living in the old order. You understand? So it's going to be really hard if we now say that, hey, every single one of you should leave. What happens to them? Do we bring them in or not? Because at this point, we need everybody, everyone that we can touch our.
Hello, Julian, are you there?
To point out as a movement as going forward. But for me, the most important things are, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, please. If you could wrap up your thoughts real quick, please. Thank you.
Okay, quickly. For me, the most important things are just fundraising and an organization. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much. Brennan, are you there? Good evening.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good evening and good day to everyone. First of all, I'd like to appreciate Aki and Saddam for the good things you do. Of course, me myself and Aki, we used to cross paths when we were younger. I'm sure you won't remember me, but eventually, when we win, we'll meet and celebrate about it. For me, I would like to congratulate the Obi supporters. Of course, this is not for us to let down, because I think this is what happens when you're nearing victory. They're reaching and they're going for very important people in the campaign. Of course, this is for us to still keep going to go and get our PVCs and ensure that we vote and protect our votes, to ensure we try and influence as many people as possible to support Peter Obi, because that's the start. The head is very important in anything. And we have to get this right because we don't have another country. Yes, some of us can leave, but when you leave, you're not taking your family along. Your extended family, they're still here. When there is drama, they still have to look up to you for you to settle them one way or the other. I'm very proud of Doyin Okupe because I see a man that understands faces. Um, he understands the phase that he's in life and is acting appropriately. Yes, I was very much against people calling for a sack because they are two different things. You getting a sack are two different things. Of course, I sincerely, yeah, but I still believe that those that are wise enough, and for me, I don't do DMs. I put my opinions on the thread because I believe someone else can see, read, learn from it, share with other people, influence them. The fact that he resigned is fantastic. This man was the start of this movement. When I remember Saddam mentioned it earlier on, he was the start. He was the first key person that stood right next to Peter Obi. If you recall, he was actually going to run himself. Then he changed his mind and said, "Look, I'll support Obi." I like how everything ended. Of course, I was disgusted by certain comments. So we're calling him a convicted criminal and all that. I mean, we can see clearly what the offense was. It was rubbish what they picked him up. But the law is the law, and he broke the law, and he deserves to face the consequences. Now, people are going about conviction. The APC and PDP guys, when they start talking, remind them that the the FCC chairman has conviction within the last few months. The IG of police was just a few days ago. Has a conviction, 3 months imprisonment for one case or the other. Have they resigned? No. Has any minister resigned? No. So us forming the holier than thou, of course, not all of us, but some of us that likes form holier than thou. I'm referring to the people that were abusing the earlier today. We have to be smart. Emotional intelligence is a thing. You have to, especially when you have a huge following. So my voice is not allowed. But for those that have loud voices, the onus is on them to act appropriately, not acting like kids in the playground. Once again, I don't know Doyogo personally, but whoever knows him, I remember him from the spokesperson of Jonathan government. I used to irritate me. I still said earlier today on his face that Warfare Additional and Gabashi, all this, what they are doing now was child's play to what Doyogo used to do for Jonathan. He was very annoying. But of course, there's recency bias. Probably for the last things that you did, I will talk about picking up Peter Obi or giving us an option, in this campaign. That's number one. Because if not for him, I probably will not be Peter Obi. But we have him. He's the third leg in this race. And he has given a lot of us the ginger to go and collect our PVCs. I'll thank him for that. And number two, for taking that position of resigning. Because he has blessed this support, this group of supporters. He has blessed us. For those that are smart enough to see all the work they have faces in it. Who is not a clean person. Atiku is not a clean person. We have the dash. All this FFK and co. They are all there. They all have this citizen. Have they resigned? What do you did? And we should not see this as he's not leaving. He's taking his face away from the campaign. He'll still be working in the background. So it's a win-win for us because what now happens now is we have another opportunity to get another campaign DG that will come and contribute from a different dimension. So it's a blessing. I love the weekend. I would have been livid if Obi was forced to sack him. That was what those guys were calling for. But the fact that he resigned and the way he stated it, look, the attention is bad. I'm in support of this movement. I will go away and keep working in the background. It's a win for us. And I can understand why the people is annoyed. Understandably so. But it comes to a point where you just need to realize that you have to look in between the lines to see how blessed you are with something. And let's rub it in at every chance that we get. These disgraceful lots, these cowards, these cheats, these thieves, let's rub it in at every chance that we get. Thank you and well done to everyone.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Thank you. Please mute your mic, please. Um, Obi Foot Soldier, are you there? Obi Foot Soldier, are you there?
Hello, good evening. Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, please. Help this please.
Okay, it's just a quick one. Let me even speak. I'll speak in Pidgin, I beg, Jerry. Well, I've been following the trend. I saw the something this evening and I was like, wow. Wow. The funny thing about this whole thing is most of these people they calculate all these things are their own permutations. The thing there we say is only left for us to now look at what is the idea, what are they trying to achieve, okay? Because I know all this is actually doing, they are getting somewhere. And funny enough, hello.
Go on, go on.
Okay, thank you. So, funny enough, all these things they are doing, each time they keep on throwing all these their missiles and everything, we keep on, destroying it before it gets to the ground. Okay. I was with a friend earlier today, and she's, from one of the part from Lagos. I'm in Abuja actually. I was like, okay, how you doing? How is the Lagos? How is the campaigning and everything? At Tinubu people, how you guys coping with them? Because I know she is a typical Yoruba lady, and I was like, okay, are you actually rooting for? Because actually, I was just curious. Let me just know. He said, hey, for what? Never. Me, my family, everything. I was like, wow, I'm so shocked. So right now, these people, they actually know they've lost everything. They know this very well from the street level. They know they've lost all these things. Understand? So the only way they can actually do this, and Peter Obi is so, his garment is so white. They have gone everywhere. They've sacked everything underneath. They can't even find anything to any stain or whatever to use. The only way is to just look, okay, what do we have around him that we can pin him out? Understand? So now they are trying to, okay, let's pin this out. Then let's see. For me, my own calculations were like, now, okay, it seems bringing the Doyin Okupe's issues out from, I don't know where they brought that in from. Of course, you said it. Um, Sadam, you said it that the thing is not actually false, kind of, it's not true. But some people just jump into conclusion. They actually went there to bring this thing out, and to their own from their calculation, it seems they are actually looking at, okay, if we do this, then since if it doesn't resign, of course they didn't see this resigning coming at all. Nobody predicted this resigning. I believe there's okay if it's I think we have like 50 something days to elections. Now they can actually beat their chest like, okay, Peter Obi is going around with the rest of the campaign, like, okay, this one is a convicted criminal, painting that this thing. So now for the table to turn around like this is like it's a confusion in their camp already. Okay. And I think I love how spontaneous they, obedient, how we took things, the way they throw things around, they will turn the table around against them is so is amazing. Okay. So me, I actually love I like the idea of people just people should always calm down, look at things carefully, not just rush into conclusion like you said earlier, call it criminal and just tag criminal. Not a criminal, like I heard the last week. No, it's not actually a criminal. You don't just paint it direct like that. Okay, there's a cross proceeding that everything that is a process. Okay, because most of these guys they are just waiting for those crumbs of the evidence of so that they can just screenshot and just use as something for what they can actually use to against the obedient movement. But I think God hands already on the movement, and if you go to the street, you see that in every 10 persons, at least you see nine, in fact 10. In fact, okay, let me be fair. 8 people will want to vote for Peter Obi. Okay, so I believe where if the whole thing happening, the whole event is just for the good of the whole movement. I think we should just relax and then ride on with everything and then keep on being creative as the next move we will make. Since they're actually making this move, okay, what like you said earlier, I think I love that idea, Mr. Saddam. You said okay, we can actually use this against them. Now this man have stepped down. Now what is your own? Look at this kind because there are a lot of them. I can list them long list. I don't even know how to even start listing this. And they are just there. They hold up to their position. But this is us. We are setting the pace. We are setting the example for these guys to come out. So it's a confusion right now in their midst as it is now. So seriously, I am just happy about the whole event. I don't. I just want my few contribution tonight. Thank you. Are you the mic?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. I just remember right now that even when it got to a point whereby the electoral law exposed the fact that if you are a serving if you're a serving minister, a serving person in the government, and you buy a form, you should resign. APC men started rejecting that presidential listing instead of
Exactly.
them to resign. Instead of Ngige and the rest are bought forms that have been abused, that have performed woefully. Instead of them
Exactly.
to resign, they refuse to resign. Instead, that 100 million that they've spent, they let it go to the air, and they continue in governance. I think it's only Rotimi. Rotimi had to seize on to the end because he thought he was going to win the election. He was going to win the primaries.
Yeah. As you actually think,
All
yes.
of them, to the CBN governor, all of them that were meant to have resigned because of the fact, and these are woeful performers that failed woefully all through the past 7 years. But because of the fact that the only reason why they would have resigned was from the electoral law, they said no, they will stay back. So APC does not. I'm just looking at the bright side of this whole stuff that Doyin has given me, as I am like, it's more ammunition now to go and destroy you. You cannot stand where I am as an APC member and talk, because right now Doyin has showed you that okay, you have accused me. You're even if he can go to the Supreme Court and win victory, and everything goes back and he clears his name and everything. But no, for the sake of this election, for the sake of the next 60 days, for the sake of 68 days, these guys will come up and say so many nonsense, tying him to things that does not concern him, tying Peter's name. They have been finding a way to say, because we know Tinubu is a thief, Tinubu is a drug dealer, Tinubu has been convicted. The same way, please, guys, is Doyin Okupe going to court? Is he going to jail? Can anybody else respond to me, please? Is he going to jail, please?
No, he's not.
He's not going to jail. But he was convicted, right?
Yeah.
The same way Tinubu did not go to jail, but he was convicted of drug dealing in America. Thank you. Savik, my brother, good evening. I have the space.
Good evening, Saddam, and good evening, Akin. Honestly, I think I agree with everything you said, 100%, right? But I have my own concern, and I want to vent it out on what's his name again? One of our obedient person, Dr. Obebanwa. I want to call him out. I don't know if he's on this space. There are some things you don't come out openly to criticize if you believe in a movement. I saw what he wrote this morning. I was so furious about it. If I see him right now, no matter that he's my elder, I'm going to insult him. You don't do that. You don't know politics more than Doyin Okupe. You don't know it. No matter how far you think you've gone in life, you don't bring out and come out and call him Doyin Okupe a criminal. Who the hell are you? And I keep telling you this in every time. If you know that you want to represent obedient in anything, go ahead and represent obedient and not just come out every single slighted chance you have. You come out in the open and start criticizing people that are putting all their effort in this movement. Do you know what Doyin Okupe has sacrificed in this movement? Do you know that? When you were gallivanting around with Kisli Mogalo, Doyin Okupe was the person going around the whole country putting this campaign in order. And then you come out of nowhere after Kisli Mogalo lost out the election, and you come out of nowhere to call this guy a criminal. Are you crazy or something? Who the hell are you? And if you don't want to belong to this movement, get the hell out of this movement, Dr. Pepper. We don't need you anymore. We don't need you anymore. You are saying all this trash every single time you see any loophole that you see in the obedient movement, you capitalize on it and start saying trash. Why do you always do this? Yes, he was convicted for what? Unknowingly receiving cash. That's what he was. You are a lawyer, you should know better. You are a lawyer, you should know better. When you should know better. So this guy when you are saying that he should resign, he should not. Do you know better than him? He knows this movement more than you. He was in this movement before you. So he knew quite well within himself that if it's within his right to resign. Just for the cause of this big movement. You don't have to bring it to the open to start accusing him or calling him a criminal. You don't have to do it. Some of you guys are just joined this movement when everything is when the thing has already when the ship has already sailed, you are not coming out to claim as if you know more than everybody. You're coming out to claim as if you know more than everybody. And this is a message to all obedient. That Doyin Okupe did the honorable thing and resign is a message to each and every one of us. Don't always be too quick to criticize people. Do not always be too quick to criticize people. Just take a break. So if something happens, take a break, try to assimilate it, and let the person that is surrounded with the hope allow that person to make the judgment. And now he has come out to make the best judgment for the group, for the movement. Over when you should just sow yourself in shame and cover yourself in mud because you are just giving every single person every reason every time your attention for this movement. Is your senior. You don't come out in open and start saying trash. I'm getting so emotional right now. So that's the mic. I'll talk later.
Brother, thank you very much. You just calm down, breathe in, breathe out. I honestly I share your sentiments also in so many because I feel like as a movement, and especially when you have access, you use your access rightly. I pointed out to I pointed out to him also. I said, Senior, we're having a rally today. We're having a rally today. We're having a rally, one of the biggest rallies we have today, Akwa Ibom. A very big win for us today. I'm expecting you to also be tweeting about that. You just hibernate, and when there's problem, you come out. Just well, let's just keep it rolling.
Saddam, to be honest, this thing you just said now is 100%. I've never seen a paper war tweet anything that will galvanize the movement. I've never seen him tweeting anything that will encourage obedience to do the right thing. I've never seen him, but he will be the first person every single time that he sees any loophole, he will come and magnify it. If you don't want to belong to this movement is bigger than you. It was even moving already before you joined. A lot of people have already been having concern about this guy because what he has been doing is to looking for any single opportunity to turn down the obedient movement. To hell with you if you don't want to belong to the movement. Thank you.
Just please, my brother Savi, just calm down, calm down, calm down. But let's keep the conversation rolling. Ohekena, good evening. How are you doing today, my brother?
Hey, bro. Good evening. Good evening, Professor Saddam. Good evening, Akin. Good evening, everybody in the house. First of all, I would say thank you to Dr. Doyin Okupe for resigning. He has just set a very, very laudable precedence. We have a country where people don't resign, even when they mess up. Even when they mess up in our eyes, they don't resign. But this is a man who has willingly. Let me remind us about the lady, former Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, who forged an NYC certificate. We remember the uproar that went on for months before she was finally forced to leave. She didn't resign willingly. Is it not the same government that we have running? If Nigeria was the same country, Buhari should have left office the first 6 months he got into office. Because in that first 6 to 8 months, he refused to appoint his minister, everything, and he ruined our country. But he did not resign. He's still there today. But one thing that gets me pissed off is the obedience or the people who call themselves obedient that cannot apply emotional intelligence in everything they do in this movement. We have a drug lord running for presidency in our country, and all you are worried about is Dr. Doyin Okupe. Why would you be so stupid to worry about your own DG when a drug lord is running for your presidency? When a man whose wife laundered $40 million to the US and a senator is serving prison term for that is running for the presidency of your country. Doyin Okupe is not Mr. Peter Obi. They are two different people. Doyin Okupe was not convicted before he was made the DG of the PCC. So why the fuck are you people screaming for nothing? Have you seen Abadora mechanics run on their people? The answer is no. They have a cult followership. Why can't we fight for our own? Why can't we fight for our own? Even when they are fighting us, we are the ones fighting ourselves. Why should we go in that direction? We should allow our common sense and emotional intelligence to play better, to influence us more going forward. I really like the fact that this man, Dr. Doyin Okupe, resigned by himself. I am so happy. And I tweeted at him, I thanked him. And I know behind the scene, he'll be working for the movement. He'll be working for all of us. He will not be in the front burner, but he will be there. He will not be in the front line anymore, but he will be there behind the scene, doing the things he's supposed to do. I thank him for that. And I urge you, obedience. Please, let's not self-destruct with our attitude. Let's learn to calm down and watch the room and know how to take the next steps. We have a primary purpose. Obi is a clean man. Obi will get to Aso Rock. That is what is most important to us. Let us focus. Please, I beg you all. We must focus on delivering Nigeria. We must focus on chasing criminals. That is what we should be doing. Please, I beg you, let's stop fighting ourselves and self-destructing. We do not need it. I made a tweet. I held my own PVC. I have had it since 2010 or so. And I made a tweet and I posted it to tell the world that I have my PVC and I've been voting and I am coming to Nigeria to vote. I am not in Nigeria right now, but I am coming to vote. If you live in Nigeria, please go collect your PVC. It is a battle for our life, for the survival of our country. If you have not listened to Peter Obi, as I'm rounding up in Akwa Ibom, he told Nigerians that he has a daughter who is a public school teacher in Lagos. A public school teacher in Lagos. And he said they pay her, the money is not enough, but his daughter is satisfied with what she is earning. But today, of politicians doing nothing, but you people will decide to fight yourselves and not support that kind of man. I beg you all, we want a new Nigeria. Peter Obi and the obedient movement are setting and laying the foundation for that new Nigeria. We will get there. We will get there and we will achieve that in 2023. We will start to lay the foundation for a better country for us all. I thank you very much. Please, 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 let's not self-destruct. The missiles will come from every corner. Let's not implode. I beg you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. It's for me. I don't even see any. There's nothing like self-destructive. It's all part of the whole check and balance, and it's all part of the whole anger that has been brewing in Nigerians for decades of bad governance. You know, when you have not seen something good and you get a sight of it a little bit, you now want it all. You know, we're now craving for it all. All of a sudden, we now have voices to speak. All of a sudden, we now want good governance. We are all everybody must be righteous and holy. You know, but we have people that are criminals running for parties, as in broad day criminals. Tinubu is a thief. Tinubu have been stealing Lagos money for decades, over 20 something. Tinubu is a thief. With my chest, I'm saying he's a thief. Not talk of his drug dealing tendencies. A drug dealer plus a thief. People are supporting with their might, their chest. We die here, Zombu, we'll kill ourselves. Atiku a thief. You understand? And their supporters, knowing fully well that they are supporting criminals, are looking for how do we call in Peter as a thief also. But it's very, very evident that, to the point I can tell you again, that Peter's price has been grounded. When last did you see anything obedient flight? When last did you see? They've grounded that flight for no reason. They are doing everything possible to make sure that they quell this movement. 4 people in a room are causing problems. Who is this? Please, leave this space now, bro. Why you do this? So 4 people in a room are causing so much problems for these people. So guys, please, as going forward, get your PVCs. Remember that we are trying to bet a new country, and I'm very, very happy that people are taking the hard decisions. Doyin did one today. He took one for the team. Thank you very, very much. You guys go and thank Doyin, because I heard they have been opening spaces and they have been screaming, we are all thieves. We are all thieves. My only that your thief is bigger than my. No, we don't have thieves in our camp. Peter is a saint. Peter is a saint. Yes. You heard that right from me. Ezenam, you have this, my brother. Good evening.
Saddam, good evening. Akin, good evening. Good evening to all obedience in the space. Today, I would like to talk to each and every one of us in this space. Over time, I have not been so active on spaces. Saddam will also attest to that. But I want to tell everybody in this space and in the obedient movement that what you found yourself in is a very spiritual movement, which you do not, sometimes you might not even understand what is going on. But just know that something strange is about to happen to Nigeria. And Peter, our principal, said that both camps have now teamed up. In fact, he did not know when he said, he made mention of that. He said both camps have now teamed up and they are looking for every means possible on how to stop him. Now, nothing is on Peter. I always say it. Show me, even in America or in Canada, a man who managed over 700 billion. And he said, if you find a place where 1,000 naira is missing, bring it to me and I will stop campaigning. Till today, a man who, after his tenure, invited EFCC, ICPC, police, DSS, everybody on invitation, please come and vet my government. If there is anywhere I made mistakes or I committed a crime, kindly jail me. He is the only person with such record in Africa. And you say he is not sent to be. I then wonder who you people call saints. It then means I don't even understand what you people call saints if Peter is not a saint. And then I go to spaces and then I hear people say, we are not saying Peter is a saint. My people, my friend, Peter is a saint. I don't know what you are talking about. Because what he did is not even possible with me, even with the new Nigeria I'm fighting for. It's not possible. I am not sure. I can trust myself that out of 700 billion, not even 1,000 naira will move to somewhere. I don't think I have such confidence of myself as a person. I'm talking as an obedient. And going forward, we all have to be very careful. I want to ask Una. Una no know say Doyin Okupe go resign before. Are you more intelligent than him? Are you smarter than him? We no sleep, wake up. Court no sit, judgment come out. And you think he does not know that they are looking for everything, including him, to use and pin it on P2B? Are you trying to tell me that you are smarter than Doyin as an obedient of yesterday? I was never an obedient, so that we don't confuse ourselves here. I am a PDP boy. I come from a PDP stronghold family. And I've made enemies because I have senators viewing my status. And if you read what I used to write about this obedient movement, you'll be shocked. My uncles have called me to caution because these are people who have benefited from this government. I have also benefited from PDP governments. I come from a big PDP family. But I chose to be obedient because I have seen that the proceeds of what I have benefited from PDP or APC or whatever I continue to benefit from them, that a time will come tomorrow where I will not be alive to even spend those things. I said it in one of the spaces. For the first time in my life, since I was born, I saw 2 fighter jets in Enugu State. And you people are here telling me stories. 2 fighter jets in Enugu State. Yesterday, a community in Enugu, the killer headsmen have turned it into their playfield. They keep on wiping people out. And these things are more terrible news than the fact of Doyin Okupe. But you find obedience trying to assassinate themselves. So what you people are telling me now is that with all the risk I have taken for this movement and all the pressure and all the enemy I've created both within my family and my uncles who have, through their connections in PDP and APC government, have given me contracts, which I did and I benefited from, but I've turned against them, all in the name of obedience. So tomorrow now, when something comes up about SN Namdi and obedience, Saddam or Akin will go and screenshot my face and then put it on his page that SN Namdi must be sacked, or he should relinquish his position immediately. And you tell me that we are all one family and we are all obedience. Let's be careful of what we are doing. No, let's be careful. I say, Wike said that a mumulity is a mumulity. Uh, let's be careful and know when you have turned yourself to a mumu. Be careful. You are in. Listen, when the vice president was in one of the spaces, Datti, what has happened with Doyin today? Expect more of it. And that is why I say the obedient movement is a spiritual movement. Tomorrow it can be me. I'm not saying that what he did is right. I'm not saying that he should not resign. But obedience should, you don't get open space and then your topic is Doyin must resign. And you come out and tell me you are obedient with all Doyin have done. And you see the story where it started from. This is a man who is paying for working for PDP. The crime today he's paying for is what he did during his service to his former party, the PDP. And it is still that same former party because he left them and has decided to keep to keep his hand straight. They have gone to hijack it to fight against him. Then the newfound family, the newfound love, the people he has now called family, is the same people that went to hijack his picture and then put it on their page to show that they are activists. And there is a way I behave. If you notice, during the time of Jamilu and Aboki Nagari, I did not come to this. Saddam hosted this space. I didn't come there to comment because these are my Hausa brothers. In my mind, I said to myself, at the end of the day, if we are deceiving ourselves, on election day, it will play out. If you collected money from people to campaign for P2B and deliver and on that day you were not able to deliver even your polling unit, that day I will deliver my polling unit and I will paste the results online. Or on the election day, it is operation, deliver your polling unit. Let's all see what we have been talking online here for the past 6 months to know whether we are coming here to deceive ourselves or to motivate each other or to just collect speaker and be talking. All the time you collect speaker and talk. It will show whether you are from the north, southwest, southeast, south, and northeast. It applies. Jamilu applies to everybody in this space. Aboki Nagari applies to everybody in this space. It was just God trying to use those of our brothers to tell us, see, on that day the results and the report card will show. So it is not about who collected money or who did not collect money. It is about delivering your polling unit, cum local government, cum state. So if our northern brothers do not deliver, on the election day, we will see that they did not deliver. It is not hidden under the sun. It will be clear. If our southern brothers or southwest or south or southeast did not deliver, on election day, it will be clear to everybody that we did not deliver. And that was why on that day, when everybody was shouting, I said, this is a distraction. I did not post about it. I did not tweet. I did not like any tweet. I did not, because on the other hand, I said, no, these are still my brothers until proven otherwise. Aboki Nagari is my brother. And we are still working in the same train. Forget about whatever comes up, whether the religious connotations. that comes to it. And most times, one thing we must also understand in this is that some of us, just like I made it clear, I am a PDP person, but now fully obedient. And there is a place where we all are coming from. We are all coming from somewhere. Yes, some people are fresh obedient. They've never joined, they've never belonged to any party. Fine. But some of us, we are coming from somewhere. And sometimes you have to be careful when maybe something from our past springs up. The way you go about it says a lot about all of us. You don't just go and start killing yourself and start shooting yourself. And that was why when the issue of Doyin Okupe happened, what I expected, the PDP guys, they already started hosting spaces. It's normal. Do this, no problem. And you know, when I collected the mic in one of the PDP spaces, you'll be shocked at what I said. I just came there because when you want to use emotional intelligence, me, I will blackmail you. You cannot be smarter than me. I just picked one of mic in one of the spaces. And then I said, CEO, Peter Obi is going to win this election in a landslide with nothing less than 10 million votes. I'm not even talking about the topic. You see, I'm not interested in their topic. What I'm interested in, you have given me mic. I want to contribute. I said Peter Obi will win this election in a landslide. And with nothing less than 10 million votes, that we are going to have problem with everybody in this space. If Peter Obi wins this election with less than 10 million votes, I will sue the hell out of all of you people. If, listen, we will sue, I will sue the host, I will sue the co-host, I will sue everybody. You see what I'm not interested. It is their business to discuss Doyin. When I pick the mic, I talk what I want to talk because I know the audience I'm looking I want to speak to. And then you find out the obedient family. You did not even leave opposition to tell Doyin to resign. Something that came from his past, all the way from PDP days. Not as if it is maybe a Labour Party campaign forms. A
All
case
right,
of
Saddam,
today.
is it me or did we lose the speaker?
I think it's Joaquin. I can hear him.
Okay.
Ezina, can you wrap up, please?
Okay, yeah. So it is something that came from the PDP days. Only for it to be a court judgment. In fact, the case, I think the judgment was 12 midnight. The judge sat down around 1 a.m. with his cohort. By 5 a.m. in the morning, judgment was already out. And then what baffled me the most, that even while I was seeing PDP, APC people, now people who said they are obedient, you now go to open a space against yourself. May God forgive you, for you know not what you are doing. That is all I can say. And I think you people should understand that we are in a time of war. You people should go and watch Korean movies. You will understand that we are now in a time of diplomacy. It is brain game now. It is no longer shouting online. It is brain. If I want to speak it in Igbo, politics is not all about activism and tweeting on Twitter. Let me tell you, I said in one of PDP spaces, I'm not shocked when you start saying things about Labour Party. Why? Because Twitter is designed to trend. Every day something must trend. Tomorrow now, Professor Saddam might trend. If something does not trend in Twitter, then Twitter is no longer the reason why we are all in this app is because of trending. So why when you know it is all about trending, why go and add fire to something you know that will hurt you as a person in this movement? And are you so dumb in this movement not to know that even if you do not say it, that Doyin Okupe with his own hand will resign? Do you think it's by your tweeting and by your trending and by all the things you were saying that made Doyin to step down? Or don't you think you don't know that he knows that all this thing is a scheme? Are you more connected than Doyin Okupe? A court judgment that took less than 6 hours to be produced. Don't you know that him and P2B, they understand that this is all a game, this is all a scheme, and that is why he has responded the way he has responded. You don't need to open a space for Doyin to do what he did. He is wiser than some of you, than all of us here, even in this space put together. Because if we are wiser, we should be in his seat. and be receiving the pressure. If you think it is easy to be a campaign DG, get out of this nonsense space and then go and take up the position. And then we just open our mouth, wow, everybody go just the talk. Obedient, obedient, obedient. Make una know the mumu. Make una. Sometimes we used to talk, somebody should talk to you, talk to yourself. Oh. Don't be a mum, don't be stupid though. It's not everything you see online, you just shout. Yes, we are obedient, we know how to train. We don't pursue Tinubu come out. It be like say we don't pursue everybody come out online. It don't reach time to dey pursue ourselves. If you not see work to do, you go begin pursue yourself. It be like say now wetin una dey do now. So tomorrow now something will come. I've been doing contracts for PDP, APC. Something don't come out now. Maybe one place where I chop money, clean mouth. The thing go come out. Saddam go carry me go put for in page. Akin go carry me go put for in page. You go tell me say no obedient. Obedient kill you there. You are a very mad person. Get away. See, going forward, all of us should be very careful. And all this jump on tweet and be attacking ourselves and be attacking all in the name of activism. Thunder will fire you. So what we are interested is in Peter be winning an election. Not about any campaign that took money in 1989. Peter be to win the election. That's what we are here to deliver. And as you are shouting online and activating, doing activism online, deliver your polling unit. Oh, not be to tell you they shout obedient, obedient. Deliver your polling unit. On that day, everybody show your polling unit here. For those, even you that collected money and the one that did not collect money. Whether you collect money or you did not collect money, deliver your polling unit is the end of the game. That is the game. When they play politics with drug lords, criminals, thieves, when no one gets sense.
Is it? My brother, thank you very much. That was one hell of a lecture. I just want to put a disclaimer to what you said. When Abuki stuff, when Jamin stuff happened, I did not open a space. I'm one of those people that will never open space to react to issues. I'm always about shaping the narrative when it comes to this discussion. I will never do that. Doyin Okupe, you won't even see a tweet about me and Doyin Okupe till this evening until he resigned. I don't understand why. At times I just give it up because a whole lot of the people in this movement are first-time voters. In fact, a whole lot of people in this movement are these are first time ever doing it in politics. They have never been involved in politics before. So I just try to give them a benefit of doubt while at the same time educating them and letting them understand you're a politician. Many of us have been in politics. We understand politics. I understand. I keep saying it every time that politics is 70% psychological and 30% groundwork. If you lose in your brain, you've lost on ground. So the moment you allow these people get into your head, and that's where at the point whereby APC know they have lost these elections, take it to the bank. PDP know that they have no. PDP know. Both parties know that they have lost these elections. So they're at that point whereby now they're trying to mess up with our hearts and our minds because they know that many of us are first-time voters. I have DMs, I have chats. If people are listening, you'll be hearing my phone is blinking. People are hitting me up. My heart, how can Peter be taking it? All this in my heart is breaking. Many first time, I understand all this stuff. So me, I just sleep and wake up and then at the next day, I know that I'm at the end of this election already. I am in 26 February. And it's a landslide election victory for us. So that's where I am. So I try to make sure that I don't get worried or disturbed by any news coming in. Because if you're in our space like 3 weeks ago, I said the gates of hell have been opened upon this movement. Take it to the bank. The gate of hell has been opened upon this movement. And I said it the day I said it. The next week, Abuki stuff came out. The next day, Abuki stuff, that one came out. Next week, another one come out. This week now, doing have come out. Next week, something will come out. Get ready till the election day. Peter Obi's wife will come and talk, say, I know do again. Or that thing will come and say, I know do again. Get ready for such news. Get ready for such news. And if you're not wise enough, sensible enough, you will fall by. I made a tweet this morning. Let me find out my tweet and I'll read that because I said something this morning. I said it as a sub to everybody. I said we are at this point in time whereby so many hearts are frail. So many hearts are not strong enough. And there will be more breaking news. There will be more bad news. There will be more emergency news. How you react to this news matters a whole lot. If you're not strong enough, this is the time to log out of your Twitter. Let them say obedience are not plenty of Twitter, no wahala. If your brain no carry up, if your heart no strong enough, log out and go on offline and be doing the work you're doing. But if you're strong and you feel you should be online, then you should be sensitive enough to understand that whatever tweet you're making at this point in time, ask yourself this question. That's what I ask myself every day before I make it. I say, this tweet I want to put out right now, will it give Peter one extra vote, or we take one vote away from Peter? If I see that tweet is going to create tension to the point that it's going to create doubt in the heart of one or two people, I will not make that tweet. I'm not here for retweets and for likes. I'm here to win an election. And I understand that we have the numbers to win these elections. There is only one party you're seeing people throwing up DPs up and down. I cannot count how many people have sent me their PVCs, that have gotten their PVCs. I cannot count them. There are so many of them. Only one party. Have you seen anybody come out here and make a video? I've gotten my PDP, my PVC. I want to vote PDP. Or I've gotten my APV. I want to vote APC. You cannot see anybody doing those stuff because none of them don't exist. All these people there are people that want to vote for us. So please, guys, be very, very, very mindful. Emotional. We have 68 days. Get ready for more bad news. Tomorrow, when that breaking news will come out, I go to start whining, crying. I don't even go on many obedient spaces anymore. Before everybody know me, I know I'm a spaceman. I go on spaces just even. But right now, it's all reactory spaces. You're always reacting to issues. I don't react to issues. I create the issues. If I'm not opening up, I've already scheduled my space for Thursday. My space for Thursday, our balance for Thursday is already scheduled with topics that are about incidents that have not even happened. I scheduled that space this morning. We're going to discuss on the South rally, and South rally have not happened, and we have scheduled that space. You should be able to understand that you should, as space hosts, most of you that are space hosts, please understand that your spaces should be spaces to shape narrative going forward. Because whether we like it or not, a whole lot of our obedient brothers and sisters are first-time voters. They don't understand what is happening here. And these perennial demons in PDP and PAPC that understand that it is all that have lost this battle right now. Let's get into this people's head and let them feel that they cannot win these elections. Their job right now is to make sure the whole spaces to attack us. Please know the space you're going to. Thank you. I'll ask you good evening. How are you doing tonight, my brother? Mute your mic. I didn't call you, please.
No, please. Hi, please.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, man.
Good evening. How are you doing today, my brother?
I did. See, actually, good evening. Truly, I don't understand. Sometimes some people understand this. See, let's stop. I think we should really stop joking with ourselves and tell ourselves the real truth the way it is. Some of us are not for this movement. They are just here to wait because I cannot imagine when we are looking for money, they will disappear. When we are looking for boots on the ground, they will disappear. When we are talking serious issues, they will disappear. But whenever there is a problem, those clowns would appear and start putting up spaces together, and some other clowns will join them and start making useless arguments for the whole of yesterday and today. I have been telling them in most of these spaces that I do not see the sense in all these things. I don't understand. Okay, let's even assume that Peter is a saint. So fucking what? Everybody in Nigeria should be a saint. Says who? Is Peter going to become a president of saints? Is he not going to become president of APC, PDP, NMPC, all those people, bandits or criminals or all bunkers, everybody. So what is this? What is this expression of ignorance and naivety that I'm seeing? Some will even come and say, "Oh, the movement has lost momentum." That momentum killed there. Which momentum? People are trying to get their PVCs. You say they've lost momentum. Which momentum did we lose? Who did we lose the momentum to? They will now say, "Oh, that we've been attacking APC too much, so we've given PDP, all the people born from APC, we've handed them to PDP." And please, for me, I think we should understand that at this point in time, we are fighting a war. And we cannot pretend that PDP are the people attacking us the most. And we've been pretending and overlooking them. That's just the simplest truth. And we need to do something about it. Doyin Okupe stuff is not APC. It's actually PDP. Because APC is busy with MFLA and the rest of problems. But all this nonsense that's going on is PDP. So why would we open a space and call it obedient space? Then we allow
Or
PDP to come in.
Olawaski, let me come here before you go, my brother. We said something. If you either you're one of us now, bro. We have been saying this since like 5 months ago. Brother S is always says this. He said that by this time in December, PDP and APC will merge together. Don't absorb each other. This is a joint plan. This is a joint task force. You know, it's a JTF. Now they do us like this.
Saddam,
Because right now we are
Saddam,
defeating them.
Saddam, Peter said it today. Peter Obi said it, that they are already together trying to stop him.
Right? He said it
He
right.
said it today.
All right, you see. This is a joint task. They now understand right now that this battle is between Nigerians and against the elite, which they represent. Understand that apart from
That's a
the few,
fact.
apart from
Saddam,
the
we understand,
go on,
and
bro,
I
go on,
think
go
we
on.
should
I'll
start.
ask you, go on.
Yes, and I think we should start identifying these people that keep doing this nonsense, because we cannot continue like this. They cannot keep hiding. Now they've gone back to hide. They'll be waiting for another scandal to come out. Then you see them appear from nowhere and start hosting spaces and you see some other obedience start arguing nonsense. Do you even understand the import of what has just happened? That Doyin would have been there. He has given up a whole lot. He has stood firm, opened his chest, even though he has a very broad chest, and stood there. And something happens. Instead of you to, if you cannot do something, keep fucking quiet. Keep quiet and allow him to solve his problems himself. Do you think he's stupid? Waiting when I even sabi self, when I would just be on the do like say all of a sudden within 6 months you know too much. More than somebody that has been in this game for over 18 years. House where you never enter, you don't claim ownership. Are you normal? And this was the problem with PDP. This was how they lost it. PDP was not already in power, but they were forming as if they were in power. That was how Peter left them. And the Ayash opened. That was how Kwankwaso walked away. And they didn't further open the Ayash. That was how even Wiki and his squad of 5 walked away. Because how can you're not yet in power, and that's the problem. Peter is not yet in power. We are demanding nonsense. Is Doyin Okupe a minister under Peter? No. He's just a man that has decided to also volunteer like every one of us. So what is the problem? He has a problem. Let him fix it. If you read the tone of that letter between him and Peter, you would see that these are two pals. The Baba just say, oh boy, Peter, see this thing as this thing turn out to. If I say, make this thing look out, and that's what is the undertone. Make this thing look on, drag our movement down, man. I don't step aside, man. We go see later. And that's how it should be. Not small children everywhere coming up and trying to tell an elderly person, somebody that they will not even talk to, if not for politics, they will just start talking to the man anyhow. Mouth where you know if you can't talk to bats, you know if you can't talk to Atiku, you can't talk to person inside your house. Are you normal? I think we need to start talking to ourselves, because if you like say we don't pursue, truly, that's in ways they talk. We don't pursue every other person. So now our uselessness don't they show forth. So we need to start working on ourselves from inside the house. Because why? If we don't solve this thing now, you see these people, now them will be the greatest problem to Peter's presidency when he becomes. You see the same people that are doing this thing, they will be the greatest problem. Now them will be say, Peter, where sit down as an executive. Because there are some decisions you take, executive decisions. An executive can sit down and see that, oh, he's about to lose a troop. And he sees that he has 10,000. He sees that he can push in 5 and win the war. And he will say, okay, let me push in 5. But these clowns, they will see that 5 that he has pushed in and they will drag the executive down. Because they cannot see from where the man is sitting and seeing these things. So Peter comes in tomorrow now and he makes a few decisions and there is austerity and people will start feeling, these same people will be the ones on the street making noise. Instead of waiting to see what the man has seen and allow it play out. Please, I think we need to really, really start identifying these people and bringing them out. And talking, since then, Doyin don't resign now. I hope the problem will be solved because we don't have sense. They will just target another person. So what will happen? That person too will resign. First, it was General Ineche. When I shout, I said, keep chill. People know here. Chill. People know here. That was step aside. So now that it is doing, so after doing, who else? So Peter is going to now pick sense from where? Is he going to pick sense from mass to become the people that he will be using? And who told you that they want even, and the shocking thing, the people doing this thing, they are not, themselves not even be sense. How many times have some of us done businesses, some kinds of deals that we collect money from outside, the passing it through banks? that we will not even, some not even read what even happened. They don't even read the outcome of the judgment. They did not even read the content. But as the thing just come out, they started tweeting. What are you tweeting? Who are you in competition with? Some don't even use the movement, open media house on top of our head, and on top of national crisis we're in. What is interesting to them is to deliver the news, the first person to talk the news. And if you think this thing was not coordinated, as soon as they do that thing, within how many minutes, it's already on BBC. And you think that they are joking with you. You're fighting with serious criminals and you're here looking for hope, looking for what? Catchist to use and fight the war. Are you okay? Okay, so if you went to a war now and they start shooting your soldiers, what will you do? You pull them back and bring out the other ones that are held to the front. Let them kill, so that by the time they end up shooting everybody, what will happen? You see, we are not thinking. We just come out and act because we think it's a joke. We do not understand that you're wrestling with principalities and powers. People where they're ready, and people are the major thing where we suppose every day people are dying. As we keep doing this nonsense moves, people are dying. As we keep doing this nonsense, people are dying. Say 2 days ago, over 8 persons, they don't kill them for Southern Kaduna. The other day they killed that man. The other day they killed the other man in Imo State. So now, with all these nonsense moves that we are trying to make, if God forbid we do not achieve our end goal, what do you think will happen? Those guys died in vain. One, two. Nothing like this will ever arise again because we have decided to not use our brains. I think even the violent space has probably lost its flavor. We need to bring it back to the way it used to be so that we can talk to ourselves and start calling out ourselves. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I yield.
Thank you very much, my brother. Jerry, good evening. How are you here?
Yeah, evening. Yeah, Prof. Saddam, good to see you. Yeah, Akin, thank you. Good to see you, Dr. Justin, and everybody on this space. Thank you for giving us the audience. So, personally, I think the news. A lot of people don't talk with I won't talk. So, but let me just try and put a few points across. I think the news is, to an extent, it's a welcome news because first of all, Doyin Okupe is trying to preserve the image of the obedient movement. He's trying to demonstrate that the obedient movement is one that is not associated with corruption. But at the same time, he's doing that in order to prevent himself from he has taken the hit, so he has fallen on his sword. I think that's the reputable thing to do. But I have this issue as we don't talk. I have this issue about obedience who are who don't understand the nature of politics, the dynamics within politics. That we are here to win elections. I am here to win elections, and that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to chase clout or to gain popularity or anything like that. To win election, how do you win election? You need votes. Votes, simple, and you need votes from all parts of Nigeria, from the whole 924,000 square kilometers, all regions, all states, all tribes, all cultures, all religions, everything. And you can only win votes by bringing on board people who are able to pull crowd, who are able to win their polling units, who are influential. And these include people who are in the established parties today, APC and PDP. Because the thing is, you can't say we want clean politics where somebody has not been involved in APC or PDP or this. If you want that kind of clean politics, then please go and support Shore or any of the other parties that have not been involved in the establishment. But in today's Nigeria, Peter Obi himself was a PDP member. You have to come from the establishment in order to be able to demonstrate your structure and to be able to, to pull the kind of crowd. You have to be an establishment person, but you have to stand out as an establishment person. That's the difference. But you still have to pull in, we have Bachi Alawal who came and joined us recently. And this was just about a week after his case on that 500 million, half a billion to cut grass. That case was dissolved and he came. I'm not going to start because what he will bring to the movement, what he will bring to the number of votes he will bring with his structures is beneficial. And as I said, I'm here to win. It doesn't matter. If you want to write off people who have been involved in the last election, people who have been involved in Buhari, bringing Buhari to power, then you have to go ahead and write off 15 million people. If you write off 15 million people, where are votes coming from? Some of our top dogs here who are participating heavily, the Northerners especially, Abokina Gari and the rest of them. These people were working flat out for Buhari, but I welcome them with open arms because they're bringing that experience, that level of delivery over to our movement, and we welcome them with open arms because at the end of the day, they are giving us votes, and that's votes that we want. So as I said, if you want clean politics, go to show or go to another political party. But for now, anyone that comes on board who is influential, we cannot take the person to the washroom and wash them and strip them naked on the streets. It's not you're here for chasing. If you're here for chasing clout, as I said, go to show or go to another party. But in order to win elections, you need votes, and votes you need people who can deliver votes. Anyone who comes across, and the thing is also you have to bear in mind, anyone coming to Labour Party from any of the established structures knows fully well that they are coming to the unpopular movement. Because Peter Obi has said himself, he said, I have been facing a lot of persecution, even people who I knew, my friends, are no longer picking my calls. So it's unpopular for somebody to leave the established structure to come and associate themselves with Peter Obi because they are convicted. So some people may think, okay, well, I may have done this in the past, but I really see the need for a new Nigeria driven by Peter Obi. So therefore, I'm ready to come and join this movement and put aside my personal feelings, my personal desire, my personal whatever ambition, to be able to have contracts or whatever. Focus on this movement, and this is where my ambition is now lying. I'm now standing on the side of the Nigerian people alongside with Peter Obi. So people who have made that move and come across are people who have made that personal sacrifice. So I think we should all bear this thing in mind and say, okay, well, he's come from APC, so therefore we can't welcome. No, we can't say that, because if you're going to write people off, then as I said, write off 15 million people that voted Buhari, write off all the millions of people that were canvassing for votes of Buhari, and where your vote's going to come from. And at the end of the day, in March, you're going to go back to your job because everything is going to go back to square one with Atiku or whatever who is there. So if you want to win election, you need votes from all the corners of Nigeria, 924,000 square kilometers, every single vote from everybody. And anyone that is influential enough to bring those votes, let them come. They're welcome with open arms. I don't care where they come from. I don't care who they are. As long as they can deliver those votes, that's my own cup of tea, and that's my submission. So please don't be fast to criticize. If you want clean politics or whatever, who is not being involved in establishment, as I said, go to Showore or any other political party. But if you want to be in this to win election, you have to look and see beyond some of these small distractions and see beyond that and say, okay, this person is valid. That person is valid in the movement. I don't care I don't care what they've done in the past, as long as they are going to bring valid votes to the. I'm not saying that it's open for everybody. I believe that to an extent we're trying to demonstrate a clean politics, a productive, non-corrupt type of politics process. You can't start by saying, as I said, you want a clean break. It's so already that we offer that. But it is a gradual process where you have to bring clean. Because if Peter Obi wins, then he's going to be the president of Labour Party. How many senators does he have? How many House of Rep members does he have? How can he pass a law? We are going to need people to decamp, and people be associated with the center. That's why you see so many people decamping from PDP to APC so that they can win the ticket for presidential election or whatever, so they can be associated with the center, get more allocations, whatever, That's why they're into the center. So most people will decamp. So would you at that point, I don't want senators from APC or PDP. Then who's going to pass your laws? Who's going to make your policies go through? You see what I'm saying? So we have to think about this as politicians, as people who want to play virtue signaling or whatever. This is the way I think we should do it. So please don't be distracted by all this nonsense that come up. Put your eyes on the ball unless you want to chase clouds. If you want to chase clouds, then please be my guest and get out. But for now, if you want to win election, focus on getting votes. And as our brother said before, go and secure your polling unit and deliver your polling unit. So that's my submission. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, my brother Jerry. Thank you. Well said. I just wanted to say and draw you. Sowore also is a thief. Please don't. Sowore is not clean. Sowore also was involved in bringing this nonsense regime to government. He was paid over close to $1 billion. So please don't come here and cause the difference that he has not held any elective position. Sowore is as dirty as all these politicians also. So please don't. He has been accused of stealing his campaign. All the money that I've been donating to his personal account, no accountability. Have you seen Sowore do one rally? Have you seen him organize anything? Well, so is a criminal, please. So don't even go there and say, probably you can find another contestant and put them. Please don't cause right here clean politics, please. Thank you. All right. But let's go back to everything you've said here. Honestly, you said everything. Politicians, any person that chooses today to take the side of Peter is going against the odds of the political class. He's not playing this because he believes that Peter is going to, apart from the fact that, because many politicians are not even seeing, they don't see beyond their noses. They just look at, is it possible? We are Nigerian system. It is an impossible task that Peter is embarking on. But we, the people, that the power lies in our hands, are the ones that will make the decision. So for any politician to open his chest and say, I'm sorry, Peter, that man has looked inwards and say, I am willing to change and I'm willing to embrace a new Nigeria. This is not the type of APC. If you come over to our party, your sins are forgiven. And no. We are not in power. Peter has no power. Peter is being persecuted as we speak. His business, his flights, that's our favorite obedient flight, was grounded. So that he should start taking local flights. Understand what we're up against. We're up against the system. So we should be careful, not when these people throw a bait to just jump on every bait. But I'm very, very happy that not the mob made this man resign today. Doyin took that decision on his own volition. He made that decision and I respect him for that. But going forward, obedience, please, we should be focused on issues. What are the issues? Getting your PVCs out. Rallying your base. Every obedience should have at least 10 to 15 people that you can bank on and say, these people will vote because of me. Do all the hard work you can do. Like your life depends on it, because actually your life truly depends on it. If we make a mistake by bringing a drug dealer or a criminal like Atiku, we don't understand that we don't understand what real hardship is. My brother Oluwa Fisari, how are you doing today, my brother? Good evening.
Good evening, Saddam. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'd like to confirm if you can hear me, please.
My brother, I can hear you. Go on, you have the space. How are you doing now?
I'm doing pretty well. It's my first time speaking on Obedience space, but it feels really good. So I'm just gonna keep this really brief, and I'm just going to divide everything I'll be saying into 4 strict points. Okay. So first of all, I like to talk based on reality. I'm a very realistic person, and some of my outputs might not go with the general idea, but it is what it is. So the first thing I'll be saying is if we are to be realistic about everything that is happening, we would believe that Doyin Okupe does not command up to about 5 to 10% of the total votes that Peter Obi would be getting in this election, if we are to be very realistic about it. And as a matter of fact, Doyin Okupe does not even command half of the influence that someone like Obasanjo or the Afenifere leader in this election, or in the Southwest rather. So based on that premise, I don't think we should bloat ourselves over him resigning from the office of the DG, because basically we all know that what we need to Okupe for is his brains, his strategy, and his ideas, and not to find new voters for Peter Obi. So let's not beat ourselves over him resigning from that office, because as a matter of fact, we have even more popular people or more influential people from the Southwest that are supporting Peter Obi. Secondly, we would all agree that our campaign from day one has been centered on being pure and transparent. The main selling point for Peter Obi is his transparency, his honesty, and his sincerity. So I was in a couple of other spaces, and I was hearing things like nobody is holy, we are all corrupt, blah 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 blah. And the thing is, the moment we agree to be corrupt like these other people, best believe that we have lost the election, because as it is now, our selling point towards the election is the fact that we are different from them, and we are not corrupt. So the moment we start saying things like, "Oh, we know everybody is corrupt, but you are more corrupt than us," best believe that we've played into their hands. So please let's stop saying things like that, because we are only giving them bullets to shoot at us by saying stuff like that. And the third thing I'll be saying is that we should also know that there are very few decided voters that would stop supporting Obi because of what happened today. Basically, I'm not sure up to 100 people would decide not to vote for Peter Obi because of what happened today again. But there are multitudes of undecided votes that would come in for Peter Obi because of what Doyin Okupe did today. So please let's try and look at the positive side of everything that has happened, because basically we know that there's no serious-minded person that would come outside to say, "Oh, because Doyin Okupe is no more the campaign DG, then I'm not going to vote for Peter Obi again." Because realistically, almost all the voters that will be voting for Peter Obi are doing that because of Peter Obi's antecedents and not because Doyin Okupe is the campaign DG. But the selfless act that he did today would actually encourage even the undecided voters to give Peter Obi sympathy votes, because he has shown that he is able to demonstrate true leadership and true transparency in his cabinet. And lastly, I would say we should focus more on the way forward. And the way forward being that Peter Obi needs to appoint someone that is as competent or even more competent than Doyin Okupe. And I'm leaning towards the fact that the person should be from the Southwest. And thankfully, Peter Obi has a lot of people that he can consult from that for that purpose, rather. There's OBJ, the Afenifere is there. There's a couple of other people he can go and meet, and they would give him names of notable people in the Southwest to replace. So the only place that there might be a problem is the fact that it might be quite difficult to get someone that is without stain on that level, like Peter Obi. But I think with time and through dedication, he's going to find a solid replacement for Doyin Okupe. So all in all, let's not beat ourselves over this issue. I think it's just one of the silly games that the opposition would throw at us, and let's just look at the bigger picture, that we would actually be gaining more voters than losing voters on what happened today. So if that is the fact, then it's a victory for us. There's no point beating ourselves over it and all. So that's just what I want to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Officer. Thank you for this angle. Honestly, when we that's why we have most of these discussions at times. You hear diverse views, people with different views and everything. But I understand where you're coming from. I'm not even focused on doing particularly right now. I'm looking at who next. We should be able to understand also that as a movement, we are fighting the establishment, and these guys will do everything possible to continue to derail and dampen our spirits up until election night. So as a people, I'm just the way we react to issues. I'm not going to say that just Tinubu was nightmare, my brother. Good evening, longest time, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, my brother. How are you? How are you? It's been a while.
Yeah. They hacked me off my own account, so I'm here right now. Welcome.
You're doing an amazing job. I must really say that because you guys have been holding these spaces for a really long time. It's just so unfortunate. Sometimes I don't make the time to be a part of it, but anytime I get the opportunity, I always want to jump in and say one or two things. I want to be just very brief and straightforward. I was listening the whole time, really enjoying the conversation. I just wanted to respond to Jerry's comments, about the kind of people that we welcome into the Labour Party movement. I think it's very critical that we're not the same. We need to understand that we're different from PDP, we're different from APC. I think our political movement is driven by the values that we share, by the principles that we hold strongly. As Nigerians who want to see Nigeria succeed, who want a new Nigeria, who want something different. We're tired of the status quo. Um, so, knowing that, believing that, we should be very careful and mindful of the people who will bring into the movement. That I strongly believe. I also think there's one very statement that Peter B made that has tied me strongly to this movement. And that statement is, and I'm sure a lot of us remember, he said, I'd rather lose doing the right thing than to win doing the wrong thing. Statement alone is part of why I'm still 100% committed to this movement, which is why I strongly believe that what Doyin did was the right thing. No force, no coercion. You made your decision, you're stepping aside. That's the right thing to do. Recently, he's talked about how he's been influenced by P2B since he started working with P2B. He's learned so much about him, and especially from his minimalist lifestyle, which I think is great. This time, he's able to show that and put those words into action by actually doing the right thing. And I think I strongly commend that, and a lot of us believe is the right thing to do. But also, these are just distractions. They come in different forms. They come and they go. Usually, the cycle of change takes about maybe 4 to 3 steps. There's usually a spark, there's a reaction, then there's a resolution, and then you see the whole revolution happen. Getting closer and closer and closer to the end of it. We're almost there. We're almost there. All we just need to do is to keep focusing on the right things that we're doing now. There's 4 more actions that we strongly need to do in order to bring about all of this fight that we've been fighting for, to bring all of these struggles into reality. And that's one is that we need to pick up our PVC, which obviously everyone has been stressing on and saying it's the most important thing to do now. Secondly, is we need to show up and vote. And the last and the final thing is we need to protect the other parties. Like none of those things matter to me. Our election is driven by strong values that we want to see come. That's what I strongly believe. And I hope that come February, then. And thank you so much again for all of the job that you guys are doing. All of God will bless us all, and all of our struggles will not be in vain. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Casey. Thank you. Nice one. Thank you. Let's take a look. And Priye one, are you there, please? Good evening.
Yeah,
Prof.
I'm here. Thank you,
Prof.
Saddam.
Saddam,
Dr. Justice, you go next, please.
Oh,
After
so
Priye, you
sorry.
go next.
I
You
want
go.
to. I wanted to end SARS now. No.
Are you guys seeing me?
Let's be a gentleman. Be a gentleman. Yeah? Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Priya, you have the space there. After Priya, come to Sir Justice and Otuma.
Sorry, Sir Justice, for taking your time. Thank you, Saddam, for putting it. I'm really upset about the news that I heard. And one of the reasons that I'm upset is that most obedience, of course, I don't live in Nigeria, but every time I come online, you see most obedience. they are either on what's that his name again? I can't even remember. They're either on his space, like they are always on the defense, talking about, oh, Obi is this, Obi is that, and they've noticed. Remember, they call us the mad mob. We're always going to spaces to talk and defend ourselves. We're not supposed to be on the defense. We're the good people here, people. We are the good people. We stand for justice. We stand for equity. We stand for accountability. We're not supposed to be on the defense. They are supposed to be on the defense. They are supposed to tell us why they've been using our money carelessly. They are supposed to explain to us why they've been killing our people. They are supposed to be on the defense, not us. But every time they write something about Obi or maybe some stupid thing, we are out there on the defense, and they've seen that, and they're now using it against us. I'm glad Mr. Okupe left the office for them. I'm glad those with overbloated egos have been satisfied he left office. Of course, he would leave because we stand for accountability. However, what does that tell us as a people? It tells us that they know our buttons now. They know how to push our buttons. They know how to make us go on the defense. And that's not supposed to be so. I have not played politics before. This is my first time, actually. And I think I've not even voted before. I was supposed to pick up my PVC, but I don't think it's going to be possible. But I'm supporting the movement regardless. However, we should not always be pushed to be on the defense, to start talking about, oh, Mr. Coupe has to leave, this, that, that, that. There is no clean politics anywhere. In the UK, in the US, even in Asian countries, we have corrupt leaders in office. However, the ideology is the most important thing. And I don't think most of us know what our ideology is as a Labour Party, what we stand for, what we are fighting for. I don't think we do. If we do, most of these people coming out to talk about Obi will just ignore them and continue to support and retweet all of our campaign videos. We'll continue to talk about how good our leader is, and we should try as much as possible to encourage other people to follow suit, not follow all these overbloated ego, what they call themselves again, literate, whatnot, PhD holders. Where were they when Nigeria was being torn to pieces? Where were they when people were answers, young people were killed? Where were they? Where were their voices? Today they have voice. They have voice because we gave them voice. I think it's time for us to hold their voices, not listening to those that want to derail us, and stay focused, get our PVC, those that cannot get their PVC, support the movement as we can, and then pray to God that next year our principal will be made president of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Dr. Justice, you have this space now. Good evening.
Oh, good evening, sir. Good evening, Rof Saddam. Good evening, Akin, and every other person that is here listening. Really appreciate your contributions, and I want to say unequivocally that joining this space is giving me some kind of relaxed mental health now, because I went into the violence space. I was like, is it the violence space that I used to listen to, or something has just happened? Is the ship has been wrecked and everybody is haywire? There's no coordination. People are just being scared or
Which violence space, please?
I think there is a space going on now.
That's not violence space, sir.
Okay, that's probably not violence space. There's one where Omar is hosting, I think.
Okay, that's Omar's space. That's not violence space, please.
All right,
Go on.
okay, that's
Thank
fine.
you.
That's Omar's space. So I went in there. I couldn't just stand it, so I left. And I'm here, I think, communicating now, listening to the real obedience. And the few questions I want to ask is, what do we really want as obedience? What do we really want as Nigerian obedience, if I put it that way? You see, for me as a person, this year would have been 6 years only of following and supporting and encouraging Peter Obi as a person to run election and to become our president. And up until now, there is nothing on earth, even if his wife, his children, his zone, wherever he comes from, choose to say no, today we don't want Peter Obi to run election, but so far as he is there, for me and a lot of other obedient that we've convinced ourselves that we're obedient for the betterment of our country, Nigeria, we will support him. Look, when this obedient movement started and people came over and said, oh, they are on Twitter. Some people said there were 5 people in the room tweeting. They said, okay, when Big Brother comes, all of them will go. It will divert their attention. Big Brother came and left. Nothing happened to the movement. They said, okay, when Premier League will start, that will possibly wreck the obedient movement. Premier League came and nothing happened to the movement. We grew up and up or through the World Cup. We went through assassinations. People have died. I think a lady just been assassinated in Kaduna or somewhere around in the north. A lot of things happened. There's a guy who was going from the airport to welcome Peter Obi. Things happen. That has been part of the movement. We've gone through blackmail and now is conviction. For every obedient that is here listening, for every obedient that is out there thinking that from the beginning it was going to be only rallies, it was going to be printing t-shirts, and this will not happen, then possibly you didn't think about it very well from the beginning. Do you know what this movement is about? Or do you know what the achievement of this movement will cause some people in the country? Being obedient means that your vote, your politicking, your strength, your energy you are putting in is about to offset about 24 years of people who have been feeding from Nigeria without any accountability, without pity on the poor people of this country that we all call ourselves. People are in IDP camps, people are dying. There are people who are feasting from these corrupt systems that are happening. They are like vultures. So for you to vote against them, you are telling them that they are children that are in the universities in other countries. You want to send them back home. You are telling them that the affordability of medical trips abroad, you want to stop that from happening. You want to stop some people from flying private jets. You want to send some people from Asokoro back to and Metama to somewhere Marabanyanya. That is what this is going to happen, and these people will not sit down and watch that happen to them. You see, so it's a struggle that to some of us that have been in PDP, I think from when I joined, a guy said about we have been in this game. We knew that this was going to happen. But what I want to say this evening to all of us is that, guys, let's know that we have Nigeria to rescue. The reason you're obedient is not on Twitter, is not on Facebook, is not on social media, is to deliver a Nigeria that you'll be proud of, that you take that passport, and if you get through any immigration, you won't be scared, you won't be ashamed of flagging your passport as a Nigerian. That is the struggle that we want to be. The struggle is to stop the killing of people. The struggle is to ensure that if you get into the university from year one, after 4 years, you graduate from the university, you'll be able to afford yourself a job. But today, what have our youth become? What have our girls become in the country? And we are here, said that Doyin Okupe has left, everybody is kicking up and down. Okay, take that conviction out of it. Let's say something else happened and Doyin Okupe disappeared from the campaign. What would they have done? We would start to move on, because the goal is bigger than any one person. And some people have said in this space and other spaces that, look, the obedient movement is bigger than Peter Obi. That is what we have to sacrifice. And that is why people like me have been giving it everything. And I think there is nothing that is going to stop us now. Guys and ladies and gentlemen, Nigerians, good Nigerians that I will speak to, your being obedient is not a joke. You are on the right course, but know that it's not going to be easy. It has not been easy before. It's not going to be easy until you achieve it. And when we achieve it, all of us will rejoice and say, yes, we have given it all that we have. So I really appreciate. Finally, is let's get our PVCs. We will deliver our polling unit. For me, that is my ultimate target, because I cannot go to Professor Saddam's or Akin's polling unit and vote and deliver it. Let everybody take that responsibility, because it's all about votes, like Jerry said, and we need those votes to deliver Peter Obi to get a Nigerian that we all want. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak here. I really appreciate, and I know God will bless us. Our labor will be rewarded and will never be in vain. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Justice. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. Otumba Dike, are you there? Good evening.
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening, Saddam. I'll be very, very brief with my submission on what I want to say. First of all, I'm very happy for what's happened. And people will ask me why I'm happy. And I'll quote something that Mahatma Gandhi said. Mahatma Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. If you don't know, we passed through 3 stages. We're in the end game. That's the simple truth. We are in the end game. And like you always say in your space, be ready for everything. And we are ready. To me, they are in the fighting stage. First of all, they were ignoring us. P2B is in Labour Party. Probably in their meeting, they will laugh. They entered the laughing stage, telling us that we not fall in the room. What do we know? We don't have PVC, ETC. What do you know about election? Now, it's now the time for fighting. They're fighting us. But it's good because I know that they're wounded lions. And wounded lions will always fight. They always show their paws. They will always try as much as they can to grab ourselves. But it's very good. This movement is really one. In fact, when I heard the news of Doyin Okupe, I started laughing because it means that people they didn't come out with anything with their to search. Someone was talking about Sowore. Thank God you dismissed that. Sowore is not innocent. In fact, if Sowore was a front runner in this race, we will hear albums of corrupt practice and co. But the only reason why they are holding on to Doyin Okupe's own is because they've searched our principal and known that the man is clean. He's a saint, in fact. For today onwards, people be a saint. I don't want anybody giving me that version signaling saying no, nobody. People be a saint because if it was him that had something, he would have brought it out by now. So it's good. They are wounded lions. Then I'll conclude with telling obedience. Please let us know where we belong. Everybody should know their shoe size now. We are followers. Let the politicians do the politicking. Let's not just come around and begin to show ignorance. The Doyin Okupe that resigns as DGP, he tell us that he's leaving the president camp. No, he did not. No, he did not. What he said is stepping down as the director general of the campaign. That does not mean that he's withdrawing his support. So please, let's start having our victory dance. Someone said, go to your polling unit, let them know you. Some people don't even know their polling unit. I don't want to talk about those that can't even tell you where 5 polling units in their ward, or even the name of their ward and whatsoever. Some people don't even know their local government headquarters. So that's what we need to start doing. Do the groundwork. Do the groundwork. Leave politicians to politics. P2B is a politician, he knows what he's doing. Let's stop thinking that the man is ignorant. He's not. He has won this type of election before in Anambra under Abda. So he knows what it takes to wrestle power out from the establishment. What we need to do is, where can we support? Not writing 50-page thesis on Twitter. Enough is enough. You need to learn how to follow. Follow the leader. You've looked at the person that you want to follow. You found that you've seen what you like in him. Please diligently follow that politician. You've seen a man without corrupt practice, a man with assistance, a man that has been consistent. I dare to say, over 15 years, all his interviews, he's always talking about the same thing, and not only talking. What he does is what he says. Take off followership and follow the leader. Stop trying to be a leader on your own. Please. So I think with these few things, I'll leave with this Mahatma Gandhi quote that first they ignore you, they've done that. Then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. You've won the election. Let's just go and do our homework. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Guys, please up on the space. If you want to speak, your hand should be up so I can take a cue, or I just have to drop you for other people to come up and speak. Oluwatosin, you've been here for long. Good evening. You have the space.
Yeah, it's Oluwatobi actually.
Oluwatobi, my brother. How you doing now? Good evening.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Yeah. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I greet everybody. Yeah. Oga King, I celebrate you, sir. Yeah, Prof. Salam, I'm doing well. Okay, let me let me say my own opinion. Okay. There was a time I heard what this our current vice president said. He said once you join APC, your sins are forgiven. I mean, I can remember vividly when he made that statement. I mean, this someone said something that Labour Party is different from PDP and APC, and in Yoruba there's this saying that "Nkan tó bá nígbà lólówó, tálíkà ló ti máa kọ́." So um, this is the best time we need to set the record straight. Yeah. So I would say firstly let me apologize. Yeah, because I've been hearing people saying for those that were actually criticizing, saying all sorts of things against Doyin Okupe, that they should that they are stupid, they are this. Fine. As much as I want to stand on my tweet, because Dr. Okpe actually tweeted about it today and I retweeted it. So yeah, so I want to stand on it, yeah, because we can't face the same angle, right? So this is actually a movement that is not just by Peter Obi. I mean, the whole Nigerian, the Nigerians rather, all youths. I mean, they are in support of this guy. So definitely there will be people who would actually kick against some certain things. So don't let us make it look like some people's opinion do not count. I mean, someone was saying that when did we start joining politics? I mean, when did we start politics? That it's as if we've been in it for years. I mean, we shouldn't say that. Yeah, we are all coming from different angles, different we have different various principles. Yeah. So let's just look at the way forward. Okay, the deed is done. Yeah, Baba has actually resigned. Okay, so what's the next thing to be done? So I think that's my take actually. And also let's look at the big picture. So this is actually somebody says, I think is that not Mr. Jerry also? So when Peter Obi becomes a president, what do we expect? I mean, this is actually a pointer to the fact that his administration will not encourage things like this. It won't encourage corruption. Whether we like it or not, the court has given the judgment that he actually perpetuated, something like this. I mean, he did something. He actually laundered money or something. I don't know what you want to say about it, but that is what the court is saying. Yeah. So that we should stand for the truth that okay, this is it. We don't like it. We don't want this. However, we should look at the best way to actually communicate it. But just like you are saying, just as we've been saying that we shouldn't fight against ourselves. The Bible says that a house that stands against itself cannot stand. Something like that. Yeah. So that's just my take. And of course, this we are changing the narrative. This is not the shenanigan politicians. Yeah. This is not the status quo. We are changing it. We are changing the status quo. So we should be expecting things like this. So that's what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Oluwatobi, my brother. Thank you. A different take. All right. Ntong, my brother. Good evening. How are you doing today?
Yeah, Professor Saddam, quite a while. Good evening. How are you doing now?
We thank God. Our family now.
Oh, we bless God. Sorry, I've been scarce in spaces myself somehow. I work. Thank you for the mic. I was actually involved in the space earlier on that has to do with Okupe must resign. In fact, I co-hosted it because the host himself saw my tweet this morning, my position also on it. Because I sat down, I looked at this, I studied the case, my understanding, and I come to conclusion that this thing could be a moral burden. And thankfully, he listened to his own conscience. As everybody has a conscience at a point in time to know when to act and when not to. And he did it at the right time. Because I just looked at it and said, no, No, no. Because for what we stand for, you look, either we like it or not, some of us here are not labor, they are not politicians. In fact, there is obedient movement and there are Labour Party also that are core politicians, or some that are obedient movement and now join the Labour Party and try to be practicing politician by learning from the rope. So we are all modeled up together, but we have an ideal, or if you like, an ideology that binds us together, that brought us all together into this movement. And we have different opinions and we have different perspective on how we see things. So I was not happy by the submission of some member that came to that space. In fact, particularly Otumba came and he was practically
Please leave
throwing
my name out of your
challenges and
mouth.
fighting.
Please leave my name out of your mouth. Please just leave my name out. You can give your solution. Don't call my name. Thank you.
Please don't name calling here. Please just give your submission, please, and let's move on, please. Thank you. Don, can you please speak and give your submission, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But please stop interjecting. At least let me submit.
Don't call my name. Don't call my name.
You do. You see, that's the problem. That's the problem. So we are not communicating. You know, respect people's opinion. If somebody bring his own views, understand the angle of that person is talking, but don't confront people. Don't think you are more superior in views or understanding or exposure. For crying out loud, politics itself. Some of us are a little bit older. I don't know how older you are, but my brother, at least I've been voting since '99. So my position is, at least, in fact, a lot of people echo what Okupe have done, the right thing to do, and we are moving forward. It's the goal. In fact, it attracts more goodwill for the campaign, because by the time these things still linger on, what it means is that the spotlight will now be on Okupe as a convict, because on paper that's what it is, and the journalists will keep overflogging it. So we don't want that. So my is that let's tolerate. Don't attack anybody's opinion. You understand? Don't think no. All of us we know ourselves by virtue of this movement, nothing else. So I think we should stay together. In order not to be at loggerhead with each other and understand each other points of differences. Then we can now have a connecting point somewhere, and which is the goal, and will be himself. And I can tell you, there is a powerful hand, invisible hand behind this movement. It's not just ordinary. When we lost the VP to, the margin of Kwankwaso as a VP, people thought that was going to be a heavy blow, but look at how it turned out. So another replacement will come. You're going to see it's going to be more stronger, and this movement is being much more. So I just want to put the record straight, Saddam, and it's not where that where nobody is attacking anybody anywhere. Everybody has his own opinion to it. At the end of the day, it is the win we are looking for, and we'll keep doing the right thing. And the weak link that they are looking at, they will never see it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Dari, good evening. How are you doing today?
Good evening, Saddam. Good evening, Akin. Good evening, everybody on the space this evening. Yeah, today is a good day, and yeah, first thing first, Dr. Doyin Okupe did extraordinarily well, I would say, in Sena Climbs. in situations like this, people would definitely think about it and try and step back a little bit. It doesn't have to resign immediately or hastily until he finds someone who is capable, and then it goes into a consultancy role. Because whatever they are, whatever this opposition camp they are trying to pile on him, definitely is going to pile on Peter Obi. So that's just how I see it. And I was so happy. I'm one of those who wanted him to just step back a little bit and until he finds someone who is capable. You understand? He has done a lot. His name will go down as one of the great Nigerians. This is the first time I'm hearing or seeing it that someone standing trial, even though he is not guilty or confirmed guilty or whatever they call it, he chose to step back a little bit. You understand? So I just want to give him. I mean, if I should see him, I will give him a round of applause. He has done what no politician in Nigeria has ever done before. Politicians in Nigeria they love hugging power so much, they like taking it so personal until you ridicule them. You understand? But he has chosen to go in the way of a normal person, which is let me step back a little. He says, I am stepping back, but I am not leaving. How can you leave? You have started a great fire supporting Peter Obi. You cannot, it's impossible for you to leave at this period. Huh? You're creating a name for yourself, and you must be there till the end because see, we are going to be victorious. That's just a fact. They are fighting tooth and nail. I could remember back then, four people in a room. Don't mind them. They are just doing. But now, see, they are even sending letter to what they say. They're trying to attach Peter Obi to IPOP. Even though IPOP has come out to say they have, in one way or the other, criticized Peter Obi. They don't like him. This Simon Ekpa, however, his own side of IPOP has come out to criticize Peter Obi. Has said so many irresponsible things about Peter Obi, against Peter Obi. But still, these people are still going ahead to try and link Peter Obi to IPOB. You can see that there is fire on the mountain and there is nowhere for them to run. They cannot escape it. That fire will burn them to ashes. That's just a fact. APC, you see, this is the last time that we are seeing APC. The Egyptian we shall see them no more. APC, this will be the last time we'll be seeing them. APC will become a broken party in 2023. Those they say the CPC, all of them they came together. You will see them, they will go back to the old ways they were before and begin to scramble for positions. That's who they are. To scramble for come out Lule. That's who they are supposed to be. See, please don't let us lose focus. I know we have different opinions, but I will say, as a Nigerian, as someone who wants good governance, with what I've seen today, my brother and my sister, I am going deeper, heavier with my canvassing for Peter Obi. This is a good sign that good governance is on the way. Remember what Peter Obi said? He said he doesn't even know that Dr. Doyin Okupe was going through all. I don't know. I can't remember how he said it. But within a day, they already found a solution. He came out glaringly and said, look, I am not leaving, but let me put this down for a while. Let this thing die down because whatever they are eating on Dr. Doyin Okupe, they will also be relating it to Peter Obi and the campaign. So, see, please, I know we have our differences, but this is the best time to put more fire on our canvassing, on our campaigns, or whatever we are doing, on how we are eating the opposition. They are feeling it. That's just I have to say. They are feeling it so much, and we should know that good governance is on the way. And the only person that can give us is Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, not that man that went somewhere and said 4 years course, 4 years job. What kind of rubbish? Someone that talks like a drug addict. Please stay focused. We have our differences, but that's why we are unique. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, my brother Dari. Thank you. Otumba, good evening. How are you doing today, my brother?
Good evening, brother. Angry, sad, disappointed, happy, all the same emotions. Typical what the obedient movement does to me on a daily basis. First of all, great rally today in Akwa Ibom. I think it was nice to see that. That was a massive campaign rally. But then I think the whole Doyin Okupe eats me left ways because first of all, Why he did the honorable thing, I think it was morally bankrupt for obedience to ask for his resignation. Number one, Okupe is not a convicted criminal, and I hate when people use that word because it's casting expression on the man's name. This man was found in violation of an act, a money laundering act, not that he laundered. And what did he? Please read. I tell people to read. It's like obedience are jumping to conclusions without even reading the case, understanding exactly what the court proceedings were. What they found him guilty of was he received over 10 million naira in cash, which they didn't say he siphoned the money. They didn't say he spent the money corruptly. The money was spent to pay salaries and things. But now we've made this sound like he was a corrupt guy or some corrupt criminal element that was found of some crazy case. If he was convicted of corruption, I'll be the first to call for his head to go. But calling for a guy, calling him a criminal because in election season, an APC judge decides this guy is guilty. Even the judge didn't even read what the judge said. The judge talked about he's a victim of circumstance. We are the first to rush and call on this sanctimonious horse. Like we're some obviously a saint, but you would think everybody's going to work with is going to be a saint, or we don't, or Peter Obi didn't know the baggage Doyin Okupe had when they decided to make him DG campaign. That's my gripe. My whole gripe is my gripe is about the fact that obedience was the one, and Dr. Kwe was one of them, calling for the charge for this man to resign, painting him out to be a criminal. It was annoying, it was degrading, and we do it every time. So if APC hang corruption case now against that, are we going to call for that thing to step down as VP? How many times do you want to keep taking our own generals out of the field? That's my anger. Is at some point we have to understand our goal is to win a freaking election, not to create the most sanctimonious election movement ever. No, I don't care about. At this point, it's just to win. Question. This is the dilemma I have, and I hate that it's now because who's going to replace him? I think it's one that has himself in the Southwest. If not, you've lost the Southwest, in my opinion. But where do you find a high-ranking person, politically astute, that doesn't have any baggage? Is the question I have. This is politics. Yes, we want a better Nigeria, we want a corrupt-free Nigeria, but unfortunately, right now we're in the system, and we have to take power first. Once we get power, then we can change everything. So please, Toyopo is not a criminal. That man stood with Peter Obi when even no politician was willing to attach his name to him. No one. He stood with him, backed him. Dude, the people, let me, before I submit, there was a political move the Okupe led in Ibadan when the Olubadans, when they suddenly endorsed Peter Obi. That was Doyin Okupe's masterstroke. People don't know. People that have people to information understand the work. What was Tinubu's response? Tinubu called for a gathering of Southwest Muslim cleric in Ibadan. So my point is, yes, I get it. Odeukwe did the honorable thing, but my gripe is with obedience that are leading the charge. Like this guy was a convicted criminal, some felon. Oh, he has to resign. What the fuck you? Who are you? That's my gripe. Yeah, he did the right thing. He stepped down. We'll move on. I get it. But at some point, we can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot because of we stay on some high sanctimonial house. We did this thing with generating. We didn't do. Who is the next person? Who is the next person you're going to face now? Who are we going to point our gun at next and shoot the person just in the name of we want to be high sanctimonious instead of us focusing on winning an election? Who is the next person we want to face? Because right now, all PDP need to do is bring back the tapes of that time, like calling for LGBT to get killed, and then people need spaces to call for them to get removed. Like as if calling for his resignation. I mean, APC, people please go our speech. APC, all this money, all they've been calling for, that's all for. I did the right thing, but obedience, not leading the charge, is where my problem is. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. But you know me, how I respond to this is going to be different. Um, I will say we have different people, as earlier stated, that we have different people, different opinions, and I am very, very, very happy that Doyin Okupe did not bow or cower, or Peter did not cower to the mob, but Okupe did the right thing himself. At this point in time, we're at the point in time of this campaign we don't need, irrespective of how we want to feel, how we think, or how we see it. We're at this we're at this point now whereby everybody trying to rope everybody is a team, all in everybody. We're at that point in the campaign now that is we're all thieves. And they have looked at Peter, they've not seen anybody. The closest person they could see is doing. And it's not the first time. And if you read his message, his letter, he said he was addressing, he said, Peter, I told you personally. Because when I've seen this personal attack. They did it with LP in Ogun State, right?
Yes,
Ogun State.
yes, they can't remove it without your mistake.
You understand? They've been attacking the man, and the man understands the role that he holds in this movement. There is one person I am certain that will take this movement to the very last is Doyin. I am certain because he bettered this movement. Doyin is the foundation of the obedient movement. So I am certain that he said that I'm not leaving a campaign. But at this point, I should step down because every time these thieves, APC and PDP shout, Ole, they will now say, Ole self, I will not get Ole for the camp. He friend is a thief. And we know that Doyin is not a thief. Many people did not read this judgment. Many people did not read this
Thank you.
judgment.
Please, maybe I can post it because
Many people just read the headline. Just read the headline. Doyin has been convicted. And they took it. Without reading I said the earlier on before even because I said people have not read this judgment. So when you know that we're in a country of that people they say if you want to hide something from the black man, put it in a book. Just run with the headlines. That's what we do always in Nigeria. We run with the headline, run with the headline. It's a normal thing. And knowing fully well that this is our weak point, people, not just generality of Nigerians, we run with headlines. We now understand that at this point, and when you understand this perfectly, that's why you make this move. Because if it begins, he has proven also one more time that nobody is bigger than this movement, not even himself. So he took the bullet for the team. And I will respect him forever for this movement he did today, for this movement today. So I don't feel like obedient reaction, no matter how they reacted, nobody can come and say, you just see president of the street and say, I resign from somebody's street. No. But what you pointed is very, very, very right. The way we act sanctimoniously, like we holy past, like say any sporting we're calling for the head of people, we should at times sit down, allow I was going in on one of these so-called obedience. I was in on him and I was like, guy, have you reached out this man yourself? You have his number, call him.
And I'm sorry, the open space not to talk about right. Call for Obi to go. Like imagine
It's
obedience.
crazy. Bro, it's crazy. I was like, God, how do you schedule a space? I want me to come on that space. He sent me this is when I come space. So are you everything okay with you? We have a rally today. I've never seen you posted anything about our rally. The moment there is one L on the team, you amplify it. It's crazy. But we are moving with different kind of people, different thinkings, different agendas. I keep saying if you read my tweet this morning, I said I'm still waiting for that Judas moment. We will still have Judas. Judas must see this Jesus. We will see that Judas goes at the 11th hour, Judas will show himself for this movement. I am certain. Probably somebody we never expect it from what will happen. But there is nothing on this earth that will stop what's about to happen in Nigeria. Peter election next year. Landslide. Thank you. Barry, before you come back, let me move the mic. I'll come back to you. Esam, Orias, good evening. How are you doing today?
Good evening, Saddam. Good evening, Aki, everybody. Nice place, anyways. But one thing I have to say, sure, miracle not the time. You understand? All this back and front we're having, I don't really understand. I know some people messed up this time, coming out dragging Doyin Okupe. You understand? Yeah, I really don't know what's supposed gain in this movement. At the end of the day, people don't win. We will settle that cause later. Because me, I've noticed something. We act like we kindergarten politics in Nigeria and all that. This man has this case since good luck's era. They left the man. They left everything. They didn't answer the man. They waited 7 years later. They came to drag the man. The law agency we have, they didn't even bother to question the man since they came now to drag the man. You guys didn't smell something fishy about their own move. People didn't even observe their body movement. You just run, you come to Twitter and drag it. In a war, you don't crucify your best soldier because you mistakenly kill one of your soldiers. You can't. You keep on fighting. After war, settle your differences. It's not this one will come here. I agree. I know this Labour Party movement. I know they have some top politicians that don't want to show face. I know. They are backed up. They are just using the Doyin Okupe to show face. But one thing I like that man for, let's me, I'm not going to crucify him now because he has not been proven guilty yet. That man has been in this movement from day one. Even when we were even fighting for VP, he stood first. Oh, God. That man has been doing this. Most of the people come here to vote. They don't even know police. They don't know politics. They don't know one. They'll just join the bandwagon, see people tweeting and all that. But the good part is some of these things happening. Thank God it's even on Twitter. At least my Maui there, she not going to say we're having this back and forth. You understand? Most of the main people say that we won't vote. Really, really. Most of the obedience that will vote. They won't even hear all this our ranting on Twitter. It will end here. But please, let's try. It's not everything that will run. We don't drag Agbado for in everything. APC people will not put for all those things and be saying Agbado to resign. Keyamo will still come and even be defending Agbado. Look at the governors following Agbado, Ganduje, all of them. They have terrible past. Like you want to be the president, he's going to be the president for Abalis, pastor, ritualist, everybody. So we are okay, we're fighting for a good cause. We want a better Nigeria, but it is you're going to go through it. You haven't won the war. You're taking out your best soldiers, you're taking out your chiefs. No, now we don't do things like that. This matter is a very serious matter on the norm. But me, one thing I demand for that letter I wrote, thank God it's not the Labour Party by now. We'll be dragging Labour Party because I noticed today now some people now Doyin Okupe has his own faction of people. That's what I noticed. You understand? Most people from the service, you understand? Some of them they believed in the man. That's why they even joined the movement and all that. But please, at the end of the day, please, it's not Doyin Okupe we want to vote for. That'll be regardless. One thing, Nigerians, if we lose Peter Obi will not lose anything. The money he spent for campaign will make it in 3 weeks. He will go you London, go enjoy life. Now we go suffer. So all these things we come on this to do that. I help that man won't help now. No, not the if I won't help the man. I'm just come here to go see everybody. Help the man won't help now. If people think okay, they do go you people will not vote again. One left people will replace. I'm saying it here. I'm being real here about this. Please, man, una una follow the enter the caucus meeting. Before you know that later, do you know how many meetings? Do you know how many held make calls? He did this for the movement. Some people will just be angry. Someone that has been in politics for how many years? He wrote that later. They talked about it. In that meeting, we will just come on speak this. We'll just see little things. We'll just carry the quarrel. Let's focus. Let's take a few days from now. It's not even months, few days. Stay focused. You see, they're happy. Fine, we agree. They should make the dance. They will get the result very soon. I beg. From now on, I beg. Any all those unnecessary spaces. Somebody will come and call somebody criminal. I beg. I beg. You never the person. They never can go jail. Don't call anybody. Hear from the person first. I don't want the people will say they are inside. They will be first to come here and be dragging people. What for now? I beg. Everybody the wise. I beg. But last. Miracle no dey tire Jesus. I hate man. Thank you very much, my brother. Miracle no dey tire Jesus. Honestly, because on that thing, you see, one thing, most times when I look at issues, I always try to sit down and I look at it from. I always sit down when there's a breaking news. Ha! I just calm down. Because I know that this movement. Me, I see that I say I'm in February 26 already. I'm already in election night. After election day, I've already seen the victory. So there's nothing I'm seeing now that I'm not prepared myself. And more will happen. More will happen. So I'm looking at it right now. Breaking news yesterday. Okupe and accused of having the convicted criminal. That was how they made the breaking news across all platforms. The same newspaper that took that news and linked the people's movement to a supposed alleged criminal and the same newspaper that will take a news today that man has resigned. What has never been done in Nigerian politics before. The same breaking news will give us breaking news tomorrow.
What they have planned for our bad has come to our good. So let us always see the light in every situation. In this movement, everything with them plan bad for this movement has always backfired on their faces. What will the girl that sleeps on politicians for money that comes on Twitter and form as actress? What will she say tomorrow? What will she tweet? What will she? What with her the camp of about boys? What will they tweet tomorrow? Ah, we are all corrupt, we're all criminals, doing no wrong, doing nothing with us again. It's no longer in the team. What will you people tweet? Peter now is now officially a saint. Saint Peter Obi. Yes. What will they tweet? That particular incident what is to rope all of us together. Ah, we get our own, we get our own, we all for our own big take our teeth. You know, they play. All right, let's go for it. I beg. What's the feeling, my brother? How are you doing today? I'm passing the yellow best. Are you here?
Yes, Saddam. Yes, my brother. I'm here. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Akin. Good evening, all my wonderful obedience. Please, I just want to beg us. I want to beg us. This is just distraction. These people actually, they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. They have tried to see how they will pin the movement down, but no way. And the next thing they do now is to bring up this case that have been pending since 2019. This was a crime that was committed. I won't call it a crime. Actually, it was not even a crime because both this guy, to all of them that were involved, why can't the justice be served at the same time? That is why most of the time, look, we just know that our judiciary have been compromised. Okay, now Doyin Okupe now did the best that we're supposed to be even though happy about. We should not even be wasting our time talking about this matter again. Let us talk about the rally that happened in Akwa Ibom today. It was excessive. It was marvelous. It was excellent. This Doyin Okupe case actually shows them that we are here to change the narrative. This man said that listen, I am still in the movement. I am still with Peter Obi. In fact, I will still be in this race till we get the victory. So automatically, this is just distraction. If the court like, let them go and search more, what they call it, charges that they want to convict him with. There is no problem. But what the man has done today have shown Nigerians that he is a different person as from the moment that he joined the obedient movement. Okay, are you of PDP? They found many allegations. Let me say there was a lot of allegations and some proofs were there. And he was not able to resign. He didn't have that merit to resign. Doyin Okupe is look upon the movement and say, no. Let me just do the right thing. Just step aside, but I'm still in the I'm still in the race. So please, I want to beg us, obedient. We should not always be fast than our shadow. These are politicians. These are politicians. And in Nigeria, nobody, it is difficult to see a Nigerian politician that has clean hand. It is not anything like anything. Just like, for example, I love what my brother Otumba earlier on said. Not all the politicians that all of them obedient that maybe did something wrong, we will call them out saying, well, Ali, let's kill them, let's kill them, let's kill them, let's kill them. No, we can't continue crucifying most of our notable people like that. So what we can also do sometimes, we can also defend them. We can defend them. This was something that happened 2014 and 2015. Check it, how many years ago? How many years ago? So please, if that is the case, when Peter brought out the sword to cut off the ear of the soldier that came to arrest Jesus Christ, and after denying Jesus Christ, all what that Peter did, then automatically Peter didn't deserve to continue propagating the gospel. But Jesus already said that upon this rock I will build my church, and the gate of hell will not prevail. So please, Doyin Okupe has been a figure in this movement, and he promised and make it known to us today that he is still in the movement. So let us not be distracted. Let us not be distracted, please. Please, they are even not going to come up with many other allegations, many other things. They are trying to link Obi with IPOP. If I let them continue, because actually, as Tinubu have said earlier on, that this is a fight that he will fight it at all costs. So let us get ready for what they are ready, what they want to present or what they want to come out with. So please, my brothers, my sisters, my wonderful obedient, we are winning already. Let us not just be distracted. So that is one of my contributions this evening. And I really appreciate every one of you for all what you have been doing. Let us continue and focus on it. It is just, let me say, two more months after this whole thing is over. Then we'll begin to celebrate the victory. But this last moment is going to be tough. It's going to be difficult. But let us, hold the bull by the horn and get our victory at the end. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. I will yield the mic at this junction. Thank you. And God
Thank
bless.
you very much, Ambassador. Dari, please have a minute. 1 minute for you, Dari. Please have the space.
I mean, according to what Ambassador just said, I don't think there's any need to keep uh pressing on the issue. I think we should focus on today's rally in Akwa Ibom, which is better. Dr. Doyin Okupe has done the right thing, and we appreciate him for that. And I think we should move on. Thank you very much. Also, thank you to everyone. Yep.
All right, thank you very much. President Peter Obi of Benin, are you there? OGK1, OGK 001, are you there? Good evening. All right, Cham, are you there? Good evening.
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Hello?
Cham,
Hello.
go on, Cham, go on.
Thank you. Good evening, Prof. Saddam. Good evening, Aki, and other persons. I just want to say that let's just see this resignation as, let's take the positive side of it and take advantage to sell our movement and our principle the more, because like a lot of people have said here, it is what doesn't happen in Nigeria. So it means that Obi is coming to change the narrative. So instead of us to be criticizing, or I want to say that we take advantage of the action Doyin Okupe took, and then start to use it positively. That this is what has not happened in Nigeria before, and now Peter Obi has not even assumed office, and such thing is happening. These are things that happen in the West, the Western politics. Of course, if it were to be in the Western world, this is what is expected of such person to resign. Of the recent one had just happened in UK. The Ghanaian, British Ghanaian, who was is it Minister of Finance or thereabout, just policy that seemed to be wrong affected the stock market, and people were not happy, and he resigned. So it is normal in politics. It is normal. And like somebody again said that this I think we should expect. You don't expect easy ride in such election, especially when you are playing it with PDP and APC. We shouldn't expect it to be an easy ride. Rather, we should hook up. We should wear our seat belt and be ready for anything, and then be able to counter any such thing, and then come out stronger of such crisis. Such crisis should make us be stronger. The obedient movement, this kind of crisis should make us stronger. Again, also, it is also exposing us to know those who are truly obedient and those who are not truly obedient. So we can be able to begin to use them fund on those who we think are not truly obedient. Of course, we know that the obedient movement is also infiltrated by saboteurs. Of course, it is obvious. There are people who are being planted by the opposition. It is called opposition research. You don't expect all obedience to be 100% obedient. There are people who are not truly obedient, but are claiming to be obedient. They are the ones that will be escalating such thing when such crises occur. So we should be prepared and know all of this is. I know that most of us in the obedient movement are not politicians, and they will have to maybe begin to react emotionally and otherwise. But those of us who may be strong in this thing should be able to call people to order and bring things back to normalcy. I want to give you an instance.
I partook in an election, just ordinary councillorship in my state. Our candidate, we saw that we also we were using a small party, that was never won election before in my state. We used it to so we be able to we were all youth that time want to our candidate to win. The somebody from the office of the governor being interested in ordinary council election, he invited our candidate that he wants to have a talk with our candidate. Our candidate went. While our candidate was coming back, he gave our candidate transport money. The guy took, young guy, doesn't have any, he's very innocent. But the next morning, what happened? The news carried that our candidate has sold that they have paid him, or that the opposition paid him dollars, and then he has already accepted to step down. I'm telling you that ordinary councillorship will see how far it went. So a lot of things like this will come to this obedient movement. It is how we handle it. I must also commend Doyin Okupe for the giant step he took. I know that he was going to do that, but I didn't even expect it to come at this time. I did not expect him to take the bold step at this time, but it was the right thing he did, and he did it. Maybe I think he did at the right time also, so that it doesn't affect the movement. And now I'm seeing that this resignation is not going to affect the movement. Depends on how we take it. But generally, with our resilience, I have seen how resilient the obedient movement is. I'm seeing that this is not going to affect our movement, and rather it's going to make us stronger. A lot of crises has come. A lot of
Jam, please,
crises.
can you wrap up, please?
Okay, thank you. A lot of crises have come towards us, and we have come out of those crises, and then even stronger. But one thing again, the timing. This opposition, they knew that rallies are taking place in our strongholds. So you see what they are. These are just position tactics. Rallies are taking place in our strongholds, and they are bringing this distraction now. So please, let us not be distracted. Let us henceforth be talking more about our upcoming rallies, how to advertise our rallies, how to mobilize for our rallies. What has happened has happened. Doyin Okupe has taken the bold step, and let's also trust our principal, Peter Obi, that he knows how best to handle this situation. I use my mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cham. Bolanle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good evening. Have the space.
Good evening, Saddam, Akin, everyone else. Me, I'm just upset. And the only reason why I'm upset is the way obedience see an issue and jump on it and just run with it without taking that step back to think, okay, what what is the opposition trying to achieve here? Because it's clear cut that this whole thing that's happened, it's been building up. But I get very frustrated when people jump and say, oh, wait, new Nigeria. You have to win the election first. I get that, and I respect Uncle Doyin so much for deciding to fall on his sword, so to say. But my issue remains with obedience, who any small thing they throw their toys out of the pushchair. No, it shouldn't be like that. Even if we were to conclude that Uncle Doyin needs to step back, the way we do it, it's almost as if we just gave them the right to ride shot over us. We're always on the defensive, and being on the defensive does not win elections. Me, well, that's all I wanted to say. I yield the mic.
All right, thank you very much, man. Thank you. Ibrahim, good evening. How are you, my brother? Ibrahim, are you there? All right, good evening, sir. You have the space, sir.
Hello, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Akin. Thank you, Otumba. You know what I want to say is But Saddam, can you resurrect that Tinubu drug case and Shentima? And let's leave this to Doyin case. Let's give them back. For me, just Uncle Doyin have done something very, very good by stepping aside. Don't let us discuss about that again. Let us discuss about the rally, like somebody said, what's going to happen next thing. That has gone. We need to move forward, because when we are still dragging what has happened yesterday, we're supposed to be single to dragging ourselves back. Some people, a lot of hatred, a lot of discord, a lot of discouragement will still coming up. But we need to forget that. Like Saddam, you said earlier, there are a lot of things. Even you, Saddam, they'll still label you that we commit crime. That's why you are living abroad.
They have labeled me since, and I just want to...
No, because I've not been around for a while. So a lot of things. I've told you what happened to me now. I want to get passport for my children. And it was so, like you said, you told me the other time that they know everybody. So leave them, just forget about those guys. Let's begin to talk about new things. Bring back those Tinubu drugs. Let us begin to hammer it now, instead of now dragging ourselves or talking about Uncle Doyin, what he has done. That's not the right thing. I don't think it was forced to do that. He just felt that, okay, let me do according to what he said. So let me just do this because I don't want anything to tarnish the image of this man. And somebody said that politicians are all the same. Peter Obi is saint. Leave it. He's a saint. Saint. I said Saint Obi. His name should be Saint Obi. Saint Peter. When somebody said they are clean people, even in the economical, there are two people I respected when it comes to clean. Pastor W.F. Kumuyi. Obi is about of them. I said, as at in the 90s, the man was offered credit line of £7 million. They can't give you in UK. Barclays Bank give you money to come and be doing business as African man. Who are you? Remove that age. In 1994, remove 94 from his age. The man was around 40-something years old. Less than 40. That means guy he know what he wants from his. That's what we should be studying the guy's life. Studying Obi's life. How come at his younger age, somebody who built 2 houses, he said he built his house, he lived while he was in university. When all these Agbado are doing drugs, we should go and when they come here, tell them you are a drug dealer. When Obi was developing his life, your guy was doing drugs. Let us bring back this drug case. That is a drug dealer. We've done a lot on that at the background, and that information is true. The forfeiture he did was because he was in America. If he was in America, he would be jailed also. Because it's not like now, because they couldn't have his address, so they're having conversation through Telegram. And that's why people go and do background check. If you can go and do a thorough work, go to Chicago, you find the true story of, because they couldn't tap him down to Nigeria like it now. That if it is now, that's why Tinubu only traveled to America while he was a governor. After being a governor, he has not gone there. Let him try now whether he will not be arrested. He will not be arrested at the border. So when people talk, you should talk about Tinubu drug case. He's a drug dealer. Leave Doyin case has gone. Nobody should not be exhibiting energy on that. Let's exhibit on Nigeria. Coming up tomorrow, Calabar rally, Cross River, the River State rally. Those are the things that should not be our focus. And then resurrected that Agbado drug case and that Shetima Boko Haram. Let us begin to hammer it. Those are the 2 cases we are going to focus on. The Bullion van, the drug case, the money laundering, and that of Boko Haram. Those are our discussions now. Forget. Those are 3 things. We want to be talking about that, and how are we going to PVC, encourage people to go and get their PVC and the rally. Doyin Okupe case, let us just leave it aside. It has happened. Our brother has taken it. We know it is their handiwork. Let them. But now, we go for their wounds. They have 2 wounds. Shetima is a drug dealer. He's a Boko Haram man. Tinubu, a drug dealer. So let us just go to that wound and begin to eat it. let's go and damage that one, pieces it, let it bring up blood, tear them into pieces. Saddam, let us resurrect those things again. This is because they've done their worst. We want to go to the we too. They're taking us. Okay, yeah, okay. Brought the case that happened years back. Fine. Money laundering, fine. But we too have a real case. Let's go back to it. Remember when Arise knows that they need to silence Dele Alake and the other guy. What they do? They went for David Ndeyi and the other guy, Agba, whatever, Jalingo. Immediately, what happened? Immediately, Ndeyi raised the two cases of the drug. You know, those boys went to their share. But now, what we are doing is that we are bringing it back again, back to back. Every discussion, Thursday, drug dealing. Saturday, we'll talk about in the violence space. We want to talk about Tinubu drug deals. We are going, if we like, let us bring those drug deal documents. I've been reading it one by line, so that people will hear it. We'll be reading it. It's a 56 page. Let us be reading line by line, so let people hear it. So that we will know, then we'll be hammering every day, so that people know that we are dealing with the drug dealers. So that the one they want to concern, then that of article also. Those are the things we should focus ourselves on now and our campaign. Let's forget about what happened with Doyin. If you keep doing that, we get some people will get worked up, some people will not be happy, some people will know that this is and I know Pio said something. Go and read what he said. That okay, I don't stay where people drop me. I move on. It was saying that I know they are attacking my people. So he knows, and even said that his private jet, the private jet that takes me around, it's been grounded. And it's been there. So that tells you that the man too, and the day man came to the space, he told us something, that there are some people that come to be his friend, that if you call them, will not look at what David Mark did to him. He went to visit the man because he lost his son. He went to hide. And then later the man just came out, I came to your house, you are not here, I sympathize with. No, Apple, that tells you that we are fighting entity. And the entity will be looking for anything to mistake. And I like what Uncle Doyin did. He just, okay, I'm going to step aside. Okay. I don't think Uncle Doyin step aside because what obedient people are saying. He stepped aside because he knows what those people are doing. You know, he has information on a lot that we don't know. There are a lot of things that he knows that you don't know. And I say, okay, let's just do. But we are going to go for two things. Shetima Boko Haram case. On Thursday, violent place, we are talking about Tinubu drug. And then our campaign rally, maybe that week or next week, the success, what are we going to improve and encourage people to get their PVC. Then on Saturday, we go to Shetima Boko Haram case. Then we hammer it every week till election day. We'll be hearing it everywhere. It's a drug dealer. In Yoruba, in Hausa, in Igbo. Then Hausa man talk it. When Ibrahim come and speak in the Hausa language, then people know there's a drug dealer. When somebody come from Yoruba speaking in your language, say the other man is a drug dealer. When Igbo man speak in Akwa Ibom, in Calabar, speak let everybody know say the man na drug dealer. The same.
Uncle Guyemi, please, can you please just wrap up, please?
Thank you very much. I use Mike, my brother.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And we have plans. We have plans, but we're caught up with this whole moment. And honestly, you would have seen I scheduled our space already for Thursday, and it has nothing to do with Doyin Okupe. It's just that we had to Aki open this space and called and help him and co-host, and we are discussing about issues here. But it's important we control the narrative of this Doyin also. It happened today. The resignation happened today, and we should be able to pass the message across to people to see it from the very positive side. Because for me, I think even if I don't agree with the fact that, and I know for a certain that yes, he did not resign because people in the Obedient movement wanted him to resign. He resigned because he has seen what we could not see. And I give it up to him because for right now, he has absorbed this campaign from a whole lot of fire that was meant to come in and from this evil camp and trying to tie all of us together and say we are all criminals, even though the man is not a criminal. But that's what we don't have the media. We don't have the print media. I bet you that all the headlines today across all the print medias will be Peter Labour Party DG convicted for 2 years. I bet you that will be the headline across all Nigeria daily medias today. Yesterday, sorry. But right now, he has created an opportunity for us that the headline will no longer be about LP, but will now be focused on we going back to exposing the drug dealer, as you have said. So going forward, I think that's what we're going to do. Thank you very much, sir. Esan, my brother, good evening. How are you doing? Please, 3 minutes, please.
Okay, 3 minutes. Uncle Doyin Okupe Resigns, Yobara Ayo. St. Peter Obi-Datti, Yobara Ayo. Magi Wanyo Obioma, Yobara Ayo. These are what I have to say. So, but let me just real quick. For people who portray themselves as obedient, might host a space, and you think they are for you, and you come to speak big English and all that. First of all, if you read what EFCC page, it said sentenced to 2 years. They didn't even, this man left the court. Some people say no, they read books. That is my problem with people. And I know they follow those people they chat. And if you see, let me go back to people, some people that still follow this man, White Beer man, we carry beer. They followed him like nuisance. I'll put it like that. They just follow him like any people don't get a flock. Shepherd, I don't have a flock, but that is okay. You just follow people. You go and you don't read the context of anything. You just jump into a conclusion. This man only broke an act. Say that they give him money, way past 5 million. They give him money, 52 candidates. They cancel order, saying at 26. He had to pay money for it and said he will clear his name. Simple and short. But people want, and if you look well, everybody here, one way or the other, have also broken that act. If you don't know, you know it. If you have collected money, you sold a car, you have collected money more than 5 million, 4.99, you collected cash, you have broken the law. Most people they sell car, most people they do car business, most people that do sell textile material that have collected cash have broken those laws. But because he's doing, nobody's going to ask a question: who gave him that money? Why is the person not being, questioned? Who did he give that money to? Why is those person not questioned? But they single them out. And if you listen to BO, they say when you follow people, follow your leader. They follow your leader. Your leader is, he said, they have been, do you know what I've been doing to me? Do you know what I've been doing to me? What are they doing? They are trying to get him. A general took a bullet. I know what he did. That's why I understand where Otumba is coming from, and I felt his pain. But I know he just wanted to take one for the team. But for me, I didn't want him to resign. But we move because, like we said, nobody is more important than the movement. And that's why I said, Uncle Doyin Okupe Resigns, he said he's going to be with us. And for me, I really need that, his brain. And for me, I see him like Moses, who will pass the baton to Joshua, that will take us to the promised land. So that's what I have to say here. And for you, obedience, if you say, you know more than Peter Obi, or you know more than Doyen, or you know more than other people who are piloting the movement, every small thing, your duty, you only have one duty, just one duty. Go and win your polling unit for us. Forget other politics. Go to your village, pay time fire, go and win your polling unit for us. Forget national politics. Your politics now is go to your village. Go to your village, go and win your polling unit for us. Just if you don't want to win a polling unit, carry your wife and your children, go and win those places for us. Don't leave other politics for us. Leave other politics for people that are playing the politics. I know my duty. Your own duty is go and canvass for PVC. Go and win a polling unit for us. And leave other things. All those things are my boss. Tomorrow now, you follow Garuba, Adamu Garuba. I'm not even sure he graduated from any university. You go and follow him and argue. You go and follow Reno Moke that is in exile. You go and follow him and argue. You go and follow this other girl that is that is in Chaco. You follow him and argue. This is what people do. So simple and short, focus on your polling unit. Simple and short. If you don't matter anything you do, retweet. Simple, retweet. Stop joining Twitter spaces and causing nuisance, speaking the big English. All that thing should stop. Leave people that are playing the politics to play. Your own is a follower. If you have a question, you ask questions. That is what or if you don't have any question, you go and read books. Simple. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, my brother. God bless you too. Dauda, you have the space, please. 3 minutes. Dauda, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Sir Saddam. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You have the space, please. 3 minutes, please.
All right, thank you. I believe so many people have said a lot that I was in my heart. I will just add that what happened is a step forward and is also a standard that has been made to also bring to judgment those guys that have been doing far worse than these things. If this could be seen and be brought to light in this way, which happened to the DG of our party, I'm telling you, it is a great sign that God is making loud that by this singular honor or act that the DG made, is going to use it to judge a lot of things in the politics of Nigeria. Some big shots are going to see hot by God himself. God is going to expose them and is going to disgrace them. So I believe what he did is also playing the script that God has already begun with this nation. So we should not be feeling any bad. We should only pray for the campaign council, the PCC, and then Peter Obi in person, that wisdom will be given to them to be strong and to go on. Somebody just made mention of Joshua is taking over the baton. I want to believe with that. So our own is to keep saying the voice of God, be strong and be courageous. Be strong and be courageous. You are carrying the nation Nigeria to the promised land. And that's our prayer. And everyone that is having baggage in the other opposition parties, even worse, by this singular act that Doyin just did, they're going to receive decisive judgment by this act that he just did. Because anywhere righteousness reigns, what you see is that there is judgment. For this is actually a righteousness that will bring about judgment against wickedness and be exposed. And this movement will go stronger and work stronger. That's our prayer, and that's what we do. Thank you so much for what we are doing. Let's keep heart strong and let's keep the movement going. God bless everyone. Thank you, Sasadam.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wise words. Ibrahim, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sadam. You know, anywhere you see obedience, shake your head, carry yourself, come sit down, carry one small coke for those that are not taking what they call it, small stout. enjoy, enjoy listening. You understand? Get yourself more energy to go and continue the stroke. Let me tell you something that maybe you'll be very surprised to hear. I know Professor Chris is here with us. I know he will speak after me. You see, now as a DG of Big Tent, and in Big Tent, you will see all the big names, MNI, San, all the names that you can think of. That's where you find all these people. And they started this Big Tent right even before Mr. Peter Obi's presidency. And they want to help the young Nigerians to have that Nigeria that they can feel is theirs. And I'm so happy being in their midst. But what I can inform you is the amount of energy and work that they are putting in that place, just on our behalf. They are doing a great job. Mr. Pato Tomi and his team, very, 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 very respected Nigerians. I feel that Nigeria has to go a direction that is far better. Mr. Doyin Okupe is part of them, has been part of them. Mr. PO is part of them. They have a lot of eminent Nigerians, including Jiga and others, people you can not even think of, irrespective of their party. And they are doing a lot of job for young Nigerians. So what I just want us to do is to remain focused. These tactics that PDP is coming with, that they try hard to make sure that at least people recognize only two parties, but at least obedience were very stubborn. Even today in BBC, I told them, I said, there is nothing you can do. There is nothing you will do. And there is nothing you can bring that will make this movement to die. There is nothing. You can blackmail all of us. You can take all of us to your jail. You can bring FCC after everybody. You can do whatever. That new Nigeria that you don't want to see, you must see it. Because before we start the movement, we already knew that there is going to be a very big divide between us and you. So we know your children are going to pay a lot of people to support you. They are going to pay money to support you. They are going to bring hackers from US. They are going to bring people from even China. Some may even go to Mars and bring people. We don't care. What we know is that Nigeria is ripe to be the greatest nation in the world. That's what we know. And 2023 is our year. I think it's simple something that people should understand where this movement is coming from. So if you feel, I always tell people, don't feel weak, don't feel that is nothing. Even say tomorrow is election day, okay, even if they are counting results, even if they said we are 1 million, they are 100 million, still we so much believe that we will make that decision by any means necessary. Let me tell you, up here in the north, a lot of people has prayed. A lot. People has missed their livelihood. People have been pushed to not just become poor, but they lost everything. Some of them are IDPs. On count, today I saw one of the posts, 40 local government, 40 local government in the northwest, including Niger, 40 local government in the hands of bandits. 40. These people, a lot of children, up to as I talk to you today, are still with bandits. In the north, people are still paying ransom. People cannot buy. See, it's Christmas time now. You know what rice is for everybody during Christmas. Today, I can tell you 40,000 naira, 38,000 naira, 40,000 naira. That's how you buy rice. Forget about oil. Chicken, the chicken we go catch, buy for 2.5. Now 5 key, 6 key. Crate of egg, you can't even imagine. This is the Nigeria that we are today. And then people are now getting themselves ready with their children as stubborn people that feel that they can be SEs and ministers, SEs and PAs and board directors in other places, that they'll just come and continue just maltreating us. So we can't stop it. There is nothing they can do about this obedient movement. There is nothing. And I bet you it all lies on us. Let's keep pushing. We shall never get distracted about this, people. This election is for us to lose. We have everything working in our favor, including what happened this week. Everything, you can see the hand of God. God is really answering those prayers of those people that are in captivity, those people that pay rent, those people that houses are underwater during this thing, those people that cannot get palliatives, those people that all you can count and count and count Nigerians that has prayed to God. And there is no any place on earth that name of God has been praised like in Nigeria from both Muslim and Christian. And I'm so sure by God giving us all these things under our feet, with all the gas that we have, with all the abundant land that we're supposed to be the richest of the rich, and some few people are cornering everything. There is no way God will not help us to triumph against his enemy. He has done it for Moses, he has done it for Joseph, he has done it for all his prophets, and he will do it for us. And we achieve this in through Mr. Peter Obi. We know he's a good man. We know the Diamond is a good man. We know everybody around them, they are all good men. And they mean well for this country. I was on BBC today. I told them the blank truth. I told them in Hausa, this is where we are. There is no northerner that you sit down with him one on one and tell him who Peter Obi is, who Dati Ahmed is, what Labour Party LP is bringing, and he has an iota of doubt that is the next direction to be. Today, when I saw that resignation, I said, thank God, this is the best place for me to be. This is what I'm doing throughout my life. I have stayed with them. I have saw the impunity in governance. I see how a small, you see somebody, your friend, just becoming a commissioner, he will bend like crayfish because he's now feeling he's a big person. You see him, some people have to carry his shoe. Just become it. You see somebody, just because you make him an essay to a commissioner, Okuma is an SAT commissioner. You see how he start coming to an area and abuse everybody. Proclus of people in Lagos, these are Abero. Now you just see them. They just carry government shirt, just like they stop everybody. They abuse everybody. They are now in power. We can't continue like that in a country of 200 million people to allow this shenanigans, this group of people that are there. See, let me tell you, all this thing they are doing, moving with their crowds to one rally to another and just posting the rally. You see our rally. All those stadium, ask everyone which of the stadium is 60%, is 60,000 capacity. In whole of Nigeria, Abuja is the biggest stadium here. It's 68,000. It's not up to 100,000. Abuja that you see here. If you put people inside Abuja 100,000, it will cover everywhere 100,000. That customer shouting is 25,000 or 30,000 capacity. This thing. It's not up to the congregation of my mosque. I swear to God, it's not up to congregation of my mosque in Kau. And Kau is only male that go to Juma mosque. They are not up to it. So what are you saying?
Ibrahim, I think, sorry, Akin is having connection problems. So I think, guys, the speech might end any moment from now. But thank you guys very much. In case it ends while we're discussing, we'll still meet on Thursday, schedule our space, the violence space on Thursday. We'll have more of these discussions going forward. But thank you very much for coming out this night, just in case the space crashes. But Ibrahim, we can go on.
All right, thank you. And also, Sadem, I saw one of my brother here. I will not call his name. Very fantastic person. Very, very. He's always on every Twitter space of Mr. Peter Obi, doing his underground work perfectly, doing a lot of work for us, talking to a lot of people that's supposed to help us to move this thing. They don't talk. They come. They just listen. I so much love what they are doing for us. There's so much belief in it. They are here all from the up north here. A lot of them. They call me privately every day. They are doing one assignment upon one assignment for this Peter Obi project to get to where we want to go to. Everybody is tired. Everybody wants us to achieve this thing, but we can leave us. And this Twitter space that I've seen us, we should not leave it for them. They are paying